Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, November 15th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 58. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8:15. LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey joins us at 8:30, and we talk Saints with Nick Underhill of New Orleans.football at 9 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. It is Tuesday, November 15th, a wet and chilly morning here in Capital City, but not the worst, man. I mean, I don't know, man. After all the hot weather, it's still kind of nice, still kind of a little holiday, even if it is a bit muggy outside. It's a great day to get cozy in your home, wherever you're at, later night, and just really wrap up. Maybe like a good movie, hot chocolate, hot coffee, anything of it. The hot coffee this morning is hitting fantastically well. And you know what else you need, Danny? Gumbo, right? Gumbo weather officially here. So everybody get on it. Coming up on today's show, we are going to do our LSU Arkansas film review. Not a ton of takeaways, but still some things that jumped out on film. I'm interested to ask Jake about maybe how to counter some of the things that you saw. We'll get to a little playoff preview as the CFP rankings will come out tonight. We'll start hour 2 with OTB Mailbag. We got Kim Mulkey at 8:30, Nick Underhill at 9, and we'll talk some bad news birds in the final hour as Ja versus Zion going down tonight in the blender. The 9-5 Grizzlies coming in town to take on your Pelicans. Jake, how you feeling there?
Loving the weather.
Yeah.
Actually, look, it's not hot.
Oh, nice.
I'll take that. Last night was my first night without flag football practice immediately after I get done with off campus. And I'm like, all right. Relax for a little bit. And Kay's like, honey-do list. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably the old honey-do list has been pushed aside for like 3 months.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that going on. Full-on nesting going on at the Hebert household. It's like a mama bird just picking up things, putting them elsewhere, moving things out. Yeah, I feel you on that, dude. What is the sweatshirt you have?
Too gritty to be pretty with a neck roll.
How does this go? Who made this? Did you make this?
This is my saying that
I
we
know
use
that.
on off campus.
Yeah.
A lot. So yeah.
But who designed the actual
me.
sweatshirt itself?
Me.
Okay,
I did.
nice.
I did.
Nice, right on, dude.
Yeah. Danny's not the only one that can design sweatshirts around here, although he does a really good job, as you can tell with yours.
Yeah, no, this one's awesome. I got the OTB SEC sweatshirt on. All right, well, Marty, Danny, doing well? Excellent, good, guys. Let's go ahead and dive in to the film. Let's just get started, man. Jake, I think that a few of the general things that stood out to me, the defense, really, I mean, you already knew they did a fantastic job. However, a lot of that was just kind of boiled down to Harold Perkins did a fantastic job. The defense as a whole was just masterful in this game. The offense turns it over 2 of the first 3 drives, almost 3 of the first 4 with that insane punt fake, which is an objectively bad call. Now, after rewatching that game, I do not understand why they faked that punt from their own 24th and 6. Like, they were wilding out there for a second. But the defense was awesome. And certainly, like we said, Perkins was undeniable. Should almost, about 6 inches away from 5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. He also, I forgot about this, he had a screen pass that was thrown into his arm that he almost could have potentially picked. Like, he was all over the place. But it wasn't just him. Greg Penn had his best game of the season. I think Jaquelin Roy had his best game of the season. B.J. Ojolari was dominant all night long. Micah Passfield had a couple big ones. Greg Brooks, like everybody had like a moment or two where it was like, damn, that was a great open field tackle. That was a great run fill. That was great coverage. So the defense as a whole was absolutely fantastic. And on the other side of the ball, where I want to really start to pick your brain and even Flynn's brain tomorrow, Jake. Well, first off, on offense, Josh Williams is awesome.
Yep.
His vision running the ball was spectacular. Some of the cuts that he made, the leg drive to keep going, he was excellent. Like, it wasn't necessarily a particularly well-blocked night. It was a bit odd. When it came to Jaden Daniels in the throwing game, though, Jake, it was I think the pass blocking maybe wasn't quite as bad as I thought. I think a lot of the rush was actually caused more by coverage. Now, there's certainly a couple reps where guys just got straight up beat or the blitz got home, but Arkansas was confusing the hell out of LSU, and I think LSU kind of played right in their hands. I think a lot of max protect made things harder on Jaden and kind of got him into trouble, where Arkansas a lot of the time was dropping 8 into coverage, into zone. I don't know if exactly, it just looks like, what do you call cover 2 clouds? Is that where everybody just has their little
You'd have to draw that up for me, and I'd love to give you exactly what it was.
I thought, okay, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just like a basic, like, cover 2 zone. You have your 2 middle linebackers over the middle, guys outside them. But they would drop 8, and the 2 middle linebackers were doing a pretty good job of carrying over any routes, like crossing routes or anything that they needed to, and passing them off. And then the second that Jaden would start to run, because they were dropping 8 and no one was open, those middle linebackers were on a hair trigger to fire and basically transform into QB spies. Where it became interesting to me, Jake, is like it didn't seem like LSU was really trying to counter that too much. Like if they're dropping 8 but wanting those guys to basically transform into spies, LSU didn't run a ton of stuff over the middle to make them stay in that space, or run a ton of stuff to where, okay, if they vacate that space and somebody's coming in right behind him, it just, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know route combinations, especially not like you and especially not like Matt does, but it does feel like there should have been some route combinations that could have countered what Arkansas was doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like you saw early in the season, right? If we go back and we watch and you have a 7-man protection, you have 3 guys out in route, and they were deeper routes. There was no outlet for the quarterback, right? There's
Running
no
back
quick, easy, the running back staying in. And so that's kind of what we saw the early portion of the season, and almost like they weren't expecting Arkansas to have the game plan that they had. And this is a game that I think if you would have started the game and you're like, hey, we're going to run the football, that's what we're going to do, that's what they're giving us, they're rushing 3, they're dropping 8, you could have had a massive day. Now, they had a good day running the football, but if that would have been your game plan coming in, Arkansas was giving that to you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, go ahead, run the football. We're only rushing 3. We're dropping 8. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have these spies. Well, when you're a spy, obviously you're worried about the quarterback, and you can be creative with Jaden Daniels in the run game where, RPOs, whatever it is, if that is a spy situation, then they go with him. He hands it off. The running back's going the other way. I think they did figure that out. It took them a while to figure that out, but Josh Williams did have a big day because of it.
I mean, he ended up having a big day running. I guess I'm just, I don't know. It was interesting to me that you were letting these linebackers kind of have their cake and eat it too, without making them commit to any sort of decision. Like you didn't have any routes over the middle or anything. And like you said, you weren't really putting the running back out on routes to make them cover him. In order to stop them from just keying on Jaden Daniels. Because the thing was, like these were some long route concepts from what I could see, and Jaden would have to wait, and eventually a 3-man rush is going to get home, and Jaden's going to take off, and he's had a lot of success there, but there were essentially 2 spies ready for him every single time that he did. So I thought I don't know. I guess I'm just surprised that they couldn't have figured out some sort of counter there.
When you looked at what they did and this kind of the change-ups that they did whenever they weren't having success, like it was a bunch of intermediate stuff with Kayshawn over the middle. Like, that was a change up for them to try to get Jaden some throws. Not in this game. I'm talking about, like, within the offense.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, no.
Really see that
Not within this game. I'm talking about, like, when they kind of made some changes. Like, you saw Kayshawn go, and he'd line up in the slot. He'd run a drag route. He'd run intermediate stuff because that's where he's really good. And they gave Jaden some things that were easy to get him comfortable, get him going a little bit. Like, in this contest, like, there never was that.
Yeah.
There was never that, hey, let's get him going a little bit. Even really, like, hey, let's throw a now out there and let him just – and not to say that he's like a young quarterback that you got to go get him comfortable, but just break tendencies. Like, give Arkansas something else they have to think about. Okay, they stopped what you've been doing over the last 3 weeks. That's fine. Let's change up what we're doing so they got to now counter. And there was never that change where they had to counter.
Yeah, and it's odd because Denbrock has been really fantastic as of late. And again, I'm sure that Matt will watch this film and be able to find throws that Jaden could have hit. And certainly there were a couple that I saw as well, where maybe if he was a bit more aggressive, like this was open, you could have had this read. And so I'm sure that is out there on the film. But at the same time, it did feel like at other times he wasn't being put in great positions to succeed.
I think it was. I think they did mention. I think BK mentioned a little tentative there.
Yeah, he said that, and you saw it a couple times. Yeah, no, you definitely saw it a couple times.
That had completely gone away.
And then, then that comes from what we said. I mean, credit Barry Odom, but they were not prepared for this game plan, and Jaden Daniels he wasn't seeing it. He didn't know exactly what he was seeing and what was going on, and that was, or a lot of times, like you were running 3-man route combinations against 8 guys driving into coverage, and there's just nowhere to go with the ball unless you're making some very aggressive, nice, tight window throws for whatever reason he wasn't comfortable with this game. So definitely the Arkansas a bit disappointing, but as disappointing as it was, except the offense. But as disappointing as it was, the defense was really fantastic. Like I said, everybody down the line was great. I thought as far as special teams goes, bit of a mixed bag, right? Bad early on with a couple of penalties, gave a big return to Arkansas. Again, I think the fake punt, actually in retrospect, was an objectively insane call. You'd already turned it over 2 to 3 drives. You'd given the ball to Arkansas in your red zone. Like, you were on your own 19. And you went for it on 4th and 6 when you had no semblance of a rhythm going offensively.
Timing-wise, I'll just tell you, talking with enough special teams coaches in my life, timing-wise, so you look like you're going to go for it, you get a penalty. That's actually, if you're going to run a fake, that's when special teams coaches love to run.
Yeah, I get that.
Fake.
No, my argument is not the setup of the game. My argument
is
the juice is not worth the squeeze.
If you would not have gotten the holding call.
Yeah, but if he doesn't hold, he might get stopped short, and then you're screwed. Like, I don't know. I mean, it barely worked. It worked because you held, in all honesty.
Barely?
No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't count because the penalty is why it worked. I think, look, all I'm saying is I get what you're saying timing-wise, but again, when it's a 3-0 game and your defense just came up with a huge red zone 4th down stop, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze at that point. Like, your defense is playing great. Punt the ball.
Well, your defense playing great actually helps you make the call. It feels like, to me, he was trying to get some juice. He was trying to get any kind of juice that he could in making that call. Like you're almost about to go for it, so you knew that you trusted your defense because you put your offense out there. You back up 5 yards, and that's when you're not expecting. I really, honestly, I don't have a problem calling it right there.
You want to go down 10-0 in that game, dude? I mean, I feel your defense, like, how many tough spots you going to put him in? I get that you're trusting defense. How about you just trust him to stop them, though, and then get you the ball back in better field position? I think it's a crazy call. I think it was really insane, but whatever. It ends up being holding, so it doesn't matter in the end. Dre Jenkins had a couple of really nice tackles in special teams, and then Damian Ramos was great. When we get back,
I see one of the questions you had about John Emery. My feeling was,
it's whether or not he got hurt or not.
Well, I don't know, but I know he put the ball on the ground twice, and as you know, like, that's just at that position. Now they didn't lose it. But
Wait, wasn't he down on both, or were they fumbles?
coaches don't.
Oh wow! Dude.
If you think a running back coach cares if you're
BS,
down,
dude. I mean,
no, I'm telling you, and I know Frank. You know Frank. You put the ball on the ground. If it's close, if you're down, doesn't matter to them.
Emory was running the ball well.
He what?
He could have done some damn good things this game.
I don't know that was the case, but as you know, you've played enough football to know that is like, that is a no-no.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I think. I don't know if I agree with that either. All right, when we get back, we continue to break down the film. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
DonaldsonGlassandBody.com. Go to DonaldsonGlassandBody.com today. DGBAuto.com. Look at your one-stop car shop. 24/7 towing. Over there, DG&B. Nick Frederick will show up in that beautiful new tow truck you see in the commercial there. Also, remember, any glass repair, they got you. And really, any mechanical repair at all, in shop, body shop, whatever, it doesn't matter. They've been at it since 1977. And the best part is you can trust them, okay? They're not trying to cheat you, not trying to get one over you, take advantage if you're like me and you're car ignorant. So go to dgbauto.com today for all of your vehicular needs.
It truly is all your vehicle needs. It doesn't matter what it is. Now, we always tell you about the windshield repair and replacement because they have all the latest technology to be able to fix your windshield, give you a new windshield. That's a shirt, T-Bob. Oil change if you need an oil change. New tires, tire rotations, they've got you covered. One-stop shop, dgbauto.com.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice.
2 of the Prep Football Playoffs, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview, presented by the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Catholic High and Archbishop Rummel kick off at 7, immediately followed by the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, Your View, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We're just, Jake, what do you think about what we were just watching during the break there? So we were watching kind of some of the, basically we were watching some of the, what Arkansas was doing in terms of how they were dropping 8 and kind of confusing Jaden.
Yeah, so it looks like you had Drew Sanders as a true spy. Bumper Pull was carrying a route, but he looked like a spy as well. You had zone underneath and you had man coverage in the back. It's just there was some windows that you just have to be aggressive and not overly aggressive, not out of control, but you have, there's a crosser and you have a linebacker level in front of you, but 6 yards of separation behind that, you do have a dig route coming open. There's also a corner route that you throw with anticipation. So just breaking down like one play as we did during the break, I understand it's not clean. It's not college wide open. It's more NFL open, but there's opportunities in some of these plays to be aggressive, make a play, get the ball out of your hands, because they're not going to let you run. They weren't no part of them was going to let 5 beat them with their legs. And so they were giving you some stuff, intermediate, even 15, 18-yard dig routes behind you. Now, it's a throw where you got to get it over the linebacker level, or maybe you got to fit it between the linebackers, and it is an aggressive throw, but you're good enough to make that throw.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, and I think the reason why this is also important is like, okay, other teams are going to try to potentially emulate this. Other teams could maybe sell out to stop Jaden Daniels from running in the same way and allow LSU to be like, okay, we'll give up some rushing yards on the ground if we can confuse your passing game in a similar way and take advantage of Daniels maybe not wanting to take some of these shots. What do you think, Jake? Is this something that like now that you have it on tape and you have very clear and correctable issues, is it something that, like, if another team tries this against Jaden Daniels, do you think he would have the confidence to beat it next time?
Well, he's shown us that when he's been challenged, he's answered that challenge, and he's learned from it. I mean, there was a Tennessee game that's probably the game that we broke down the most as far as here's the throws, trust your receivers, and then the next 3 weeks, he played as well as any quarterback in the country.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's being challenged yesterday, today, the rest of the week, because like UAB's coming with this same defense. A&M's going to run a version of this defense.
I would think so.
Georgia's going to run a version of this defense because it's what I would do.
And
what you would do.
And the Georgia's the one that scares me, right? Because they could run this to perfection.
I will say that
right?
Yes. But I will say the 2 linebackers for Arkansas, 2 really good candidates to run this defense.
That's fair.
I mean, Drew Sanders has, 7 sacks on the year. Really good middle linebacker, transfers from Bama. Bumper Pull, all jokes aside, I mean, he's been – I feel like he's been starting for 6 years in the SEC, not just a player in the SEC like he has been for 6 years. And so you've got 2 really good players that were able to use this defense to their advantage.
There's a great play with Emory Jones getting a little nasty with Bumper Pull after the play, and they were like, talking trash to each other, and I was like, bro, that dude's like 8 years older than, like, you're 8 years older than him. That's bullying. Like, you can't, like, that kid was in like 6th grade when you were a senior in high school. You can't make fun of him. That's mean.
Emory Jones was in middle school when Bumper Pool started his Arkansas career.
That's what I'm saying. Literally,
you're right.
Literally, he was in junior high.
Yeah.
When you were in college. Relax.
I had this moment the other day with Deshaun Jackson and Alante Taylor. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. Deshaun Jackson was probably in the NFL when Alante Taylor was going into 4th grade.
Yes, Deshaun Jackson was in the NFL when I was playing.
Yeah.
He made me look foolish a couple times.
Hey, you can return punts. It is. All right, Jake. Well, okay. So then, what were your bigger? And again, yeah, well, of course, Georgia worries you, right? They're just the most talented position by position. Like, even if the linebackers aren't better, they got Jalen Carter back now, and their DBs look excellent. What were your big takeaways after rewatching the game? And by the way, this is the last segment. We'll do this, and then we get into some like more general college football talk. We got mailbag coming up and everything, but we are about to close the book on the Arkansas game until we maybe get a segment out of Flynn tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can zero him in on what he would have done. But yeah, what did you think?
I did like the run game. I did like the Josh Williams, even John Emery. Noah Kane had a couple of nice runs. I like the
He
drive.
almost got that one at the end.
I like the drive where they said, you know what, the hell with it. We're going to go in there. We're going to basically run the same formation, and we're going to run the same play, and we're just going to big boy you. Because we haven't really had to see them do that this year. But I forget, was it McElroy on the call?
Yeah.
I mean, he made a good point about how big this offensive line is. I mean, you got Bradford and you got Frazier. You got some big guards. You got some big tackles. You got a guard out there playing tackle. That's not disrespectful. That's just telling you how big Emory Jones is. And there was a drive because, again, we have not seen that this year where they said, we're going to run the football, we're going to pound Arkansas up front, we're going to pick up some yards, and we're going to churn some clock. And to me, they haven't had to do that, and they haven't done that, and that was good to see. And multiple running backs had success on the day, which is always good to see as well.
Yeah, and it is interesting because for all the all the kind of doubts on the running back position entering the year, to me, a lot of the rushing success was actually more attributable to the running backs than even the O-line in a lot of the games. It's not to say the O-line did bad, but at the same time, it wasn't necessarily like a uber dominant, just road grading. You're just absolutely controlling people. Like it was solid. Don't get me wrong. It seemed solid, but to me, the vision of Josh Williams was fantastic. John Emery, and like you said, even Noah Kane. Like these guys were doing an excellent job of breaking tackles, making something out of nothing at times, making something small into something larger. Like there were a lot of plays here where if I'm an O-lineman, I'm very happy with my running back. They set you up for success. So like a lot of those yards that Josh Williams got were hard earned and were earned on his own merit. And same thing with Emery and Kane. So it was I thought it was a really fantastic day for the running backs. Absolutely.
Yeah. So anytime you get a missed tackle per attempt, you're doing something really, really well. Kane, Emery, and Williams all had that.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
So it tells you the
checks
story.
Out.
Yards after contact per rushing attempt. John Emery, 11.7. Wow. Noah Kane had 4 and some change. Josh Williams had 3.7.
And that's per attempt.
That's per attempt.
And
yes.
Josh Williams getting the bulk of the carries there. So that's a very impressive number. That is Josh. Like, you want to average 4 yards a carry. And that is Josh Williams basically averaging 4 yards a carry after contact, which is exactly what we were just discussing there. So a really nice job from that running back room. Though Charles Turner probably had his worst game of the season thus far, or maybe worst game in a while. He was kind of struggling a bit on the day. Savion Jones played fantastic. He had the sack. He also had a beautiful wrong arm to blow up the second and goal from the 2 on the goal line when it looked like Arkansas was maybe going to take a 10-0 lead. So a lot of great, look, just a gritty, hard-fought. Like we said, if you get caught in a trap, what's the goal? To survive. And you found a way with the defense. You found a way with the running backs. And now you get in the lab and you get it fixed. And I would expect an offense that would come out and be very motivated to do very well this Saturday night in Death Valley.
LSU lost that same game last year at home.
Yeah,
they lost the same game. It was a sleepy game. It was a defensive struggle. I mean, you got there, offenses have no success. LSU scored early, and you felt like the entire game last year, at least I did, that LSU was the better team in that matchup, LSU versus Arkansas. But they let Arkansas hang around. They let them make the play to be able to send it to overtime, and then they win in overtime, and that was at home. Now you won that game. That's growth. Now it's like the shirt says, it wasn't pretty, okay?
Yeah.
It was not. But you found a way in a game that played out almost identical to the way it did last year at home, but you won this one. You had to win this one. And now, because this is a veteran team, you have to reset. Okay, we're going to Atlanta. That's great, but we have bigger goals. Now, are those goals going to be, I don't want to say hard to achieve. You're going to have some help, but you still have the goal. If you go win, you make it interesting. If you continue to win, you make it hard on a committee to have to leave you out.
Well, let's talk about that next as the college football playoff rankings will come out tonight. And let's break down maybe what you could expect. Also, what like as an LSU fan, if you want to entertain such things as making the playoff, what do you need to see happen? We'll break it down next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. They're right there off Airline Highway. I love them, man. Whether you're looking to buy new, maybe you want to lease, maybe you want to rent, and get cheaper per day rental prices in your traditional rental companies, maybe doing like a Disney trip or something. I don't know. Low population time right now. Did you know that shit? This is one of the lowest pop times you can go to Disney all the way up until I think like January or something. So get that rental from All-Star Toyota. Maybe try out the Toyota Sienna. You fall in love, and then you know where your next vehicle is going to be, or maybe not. Just go talk to them. Toyota-thon's going on right now. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Plan ahead. If you're going to Atlanta, you're like, hey, these flights are ridiculous. I'm going to, I think, make the trek. Well, go rent a Toyota. You can rent the Sienna. You can rent the Tundra. You can rent a sedan, a hybrid, like whatever you want to rent for the trip. You can do it holidays. You have more people coming in town. Your car's not big enough. Or maybe you're going out of town for the holidays. Go rent a Toyota today. Per day rental prices. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. Glenn West on the Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints, and Kendall Rogers talking fall baseball. Hunt and Hill, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. 104.5 ESPN. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Danny, my shirt works with the aesthetic.
Sure.
It may not work with outside, but no. Go, you got it. Yeah, like this. You know, like give me like a little margarita or something. You're watching on YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. Y'all see what I'm talking about. Fonzarelli says y'all are overthinking it way too much. I think he's talking to the chat, but he says Daniel's issue is that his confidence can be shaken really quick. He had the pick and the fumble whenever he tried to run it, which caused him to play more cautious for the rest of the game because he doesn't want to lose the game. I don't know if I agree with Jaden Daniels' confidence getting shaken really quick. I think that's actually been one of the things that I was worried about that over the past month he proved is not the case. Now, I do think that he was on his back heel this game. He was a bit confused about what he was seeing, and they were putting him in positions to throw balls that he was not comfortable throwing. But I don't know if it's I don't know. I just have trouble applying shaking confidence to him when we've seen what a kind of cool competitor he can be in like the biggest of moments. I don't know if I'd say it that way exactly, but maybe we're just arguing about semantics at a certain point. What did you think about the pick? Because to me, it looked like the right decision, Jake, but maybe you just got to find a different way to deliver the ball. I mean, both players were I'm trying to remember exactly what the play was, but both players were either blitzing or they were getting sucked in, and then he was trying to hit like a slant behind them, and I mean, kind of a good play by the defender, but he did kind of throw it right to him a little bit. See, like that's open. Is that the right choice when those guys crash down like that?
Yeah, and when you have the RPO and you kind of ride it for as long as he did on that interception, you do start to get towards the line of scrimmage, and it's going to make that throw even more difficult.
Yeah.
It gets batted down there, and so
I mean, it's a bad look. An ugly ball. It threw a bad ball, but it's the right choice. It's a
right choice, but it was a bad ball.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
that angle shows it right.
That is where you want to go with the football. Unfortunately, I don't think we can show you the play.
All right,
but
though, good decision is not the worst thing. Good decision, bad ball I can take. You can fix the bad ball part of that. And again, I am not. You are not going to catch me like earlier in the year after Auburn. Was I starting to, and even after Tennessee, was I starting to waffle on Daniels? Absolutely. But at that point, we had more evidence than not that it was not going well. Now, we have vastly more evidence than not than you should believe in Jaden Daniels and this offense. So I'm not going to bail after 1 week. It's a lot like TCU. Does Max Duggan suck? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like is the Horned Frogs defense suddenly the strength of their team? Like, no. Right. No. But TCU did what LSU do. Championship teams find a way. And let's talk about TCU for a second, Jake, because, again, they're being disrespected this weekend. They're, only 2.5-point favorites against a Baylor team that just got swacked by Kansas State. And I get it. Baylor will do better probably this week. But This is a TCU team that I was so impressed with last week, and because you've been a part of teams, I'm sure, Jake, where one side of the ball, and maybe you haven't, I have been, where one side of the ball is like kind of vastly better than the other. It's like the definite strength of the team. And it is a psychological blow when you are in a big game and that side of the ball is getting its ass kicked. So for TCU to do what they did against Texas, when Max Duggan and that offense had the ball 5 times, the first 5 drives, they're in Texas territory and they don't get anything. And like, it's not even like they drove into Texas territory. No, they were getting like turnovers starting there and going backwards. So this TCU defense, which has not been any good all year and been awful at defending the run, they had to watch the offense that has gotten them here to this point look completely emasculated, just completely helpless, and they didn't panic. They didn't get nervous. They didn't break. All the defense did was play harder and better and hold Bijan Robinson to 29 yards on the ground. So again, championship teams find a way, they adapt to the situation at hand, and then you get it fixed for next week. Like, Baylor is not going to stop Max Duggan like Texas was just able to stop Max Duggan.
Man, it's like Vegas and a lot of people that do what we do for a living. They're just like, when you're gambling, you're playing blackjack or maybe even playing roulette and you're playing black and red. It's like $10 lost, $20. And let me double that bet. Let me double it because eventually it's going to pay off for me, right? That's what it feels like with TCU. Everyone's doubling their bet that they're going to lose just every single week. And they found a different way to win a football game on the road. They were a touchdown dog. Game day was there. People picking against them. It's like, how many times?
Close. Shouldn't even been 17-10.
No.
It was a 17-3 game. It's not even like the defense earned that defensive touchdown they got. They got really lucky with just a complete awful mistake from TCU. So, yeah. Now, here, Chris Martinez, as we talk about the playoffs, says TCU is not good. What is good then, Chris? I mean, what do you got? Like, at a certain point, the football has to matter, right? Like, at a certain point, the football is the point.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how much you know. Don't tell me you know who the better team is. Did you know that Jaden and Laura and that Arizona Wildcat team at 3-6 was going to go beat UCLA? Like, what are we talking about? At a certain point, the football has to matter. And everybody that TCU has played, they've beaten.
And TCU,
a damn good football team.
I was about to say, TCU is good. Like, this isn't a team that hasn't played anybody. This isn't a team that is in a conference where it's like, they won the one Power 5 game that they had and they've beaten a bad conference. That's not what this conversation is. This is a conversation of a Big 12. Regardless of what you think of the Big 12, it's a round-robin schedule. And every single week, you got to show up. You do. Like, there's no bottom feeder in the Big 12. I understand what Iowa State's record is. I do. I understand what Oklahoma's record is. But when you play a round robin in this schedule, you look at it, there's not going to be roll the helmet out there game, right? There's not going to be this team that every team plays that's a guaranteed win in conference. Like, every single week, you've got to bring it. And they've rolled off, 5 ranked victories now?
Yeah, and what makes me mad is if it was Texas or Oklahoma doing this, you would consider them an elite team.
You would.
And you would say they deserve to be where they needed to be. So, no, I think it's absurd. And if TCU goes undefeated, they must get in this playoff. And then guess what? If they go and get blown out by Georgia, that doesn't mean anything either. Like, Georgia's maybe the one team that's going to blow out the 4 seed almost no matter what. Like, I would love to see TCU against whoever the 3 and 4 seed would be, like TCU against Tennessee. That's not going to be some sort of blowout. So, no, it's a very good football team, well-deserving of their top 4 ranking they will get tonight. And in terms of other things that happened last week, and we mentioned UCLA falling. Obviously, Oregon falls to Washington as well. I thought it was a weird call by Dan Lanning at the end there. But, yeah, great game. I mean, Michael Penix, that 30-yard frozen rope up the sideline that he had was one of the best throws you'll see all year long.
My man has got a hose piece.
On
his, 15-yard out routes,
yeah,
I called the boys in there. I'm like, hey, y'all come look at this. And they're like, what? I'm like, watch this throw by this quarterback. I mean, it never gets high off the ground, and it is a BB to his receivers.
And what it means now is with both those Pac-12 teams falling, Jake, only one left. Who would that be?
USC.
Oh, yeah. La Petite Trojan Boys.
You realize they have UCLA, Notre Dame, and then another good team in the Pac-12 championship
either
game.
Oregon or Utah.
I would not count those blessings just
No,
yet.
no. I'm not saying that, but you know what that is. That does represent an undeniable path to the playoff if they win out. But I would not give the benefit
I would
of the
not
doubt.
bet on them winning out.
No. Neither would I. To be painfully clear,
So
neither would I.
it's an interesting conversation to
The
have.
Pac-12 has made an art of like, hey, let's not make the playoff.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I know we got to go to break, but like if you're a fan of the Pac-12, like if you just enjoy Pac-12 football, you're upset because your teams continue to knock each other out of it, but it has to be that way. And it's good football this year.
Yeah, it's way better football.
You know,
like the ACC is way worse than the Pac-12.
So a lot of people troll in the Pac-12. Oh, you did it again. I'm like, yeah, but Oregon's good. Washington's good. USC's good. UCLA is still a good team, even though they got upset. Utah's good.
Yeah.
Oregon State is tough and nasty. 7-3 football team.
Yeah.
So yes, you knocked yourself probably out of the playoff again, but at least the football's better.
Yeah, and then eventually that will pay dividends with the 12-team playoff and whatnot. When we get back, let's keep talking playoff. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Cobra Guy, Thomas email today. Thomas and Megan email for all of your insurance needs, man. I don't care if it's business insurance, home insurance, auto insurance, mom insurance, Danny. You can get it all from Riverlands. You just call them up. They give them a couple pieces of information, and then they shop around with all the major companies, and they save you money. And remember, like stuff like your house, your home insurance is interesting. It's probably rolled into your mortgage. Like you probably don't even know exactly what you're paying, right? So let Thomas do the legwork and see how much money he can save you. Jake's going to give you his cell phone number. Call him up today.
225-206-1517, and that is anywhere in the state of Louisiana. I tell you, every single day, we're fortunate to be in Shreveport, Alexandria, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, all these areas, and we're talking to you. So yes, it is a 225 area code. You can call Thomas, and he's going to pick up. We've been with him when a client is called. He's like, excuse me, got to take this. 225-206-1517.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Sean Salisbury joins us, and we'll chat with Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, speaking of TCU, shout out to the Northwestern State Demons. Fork 'em. You see that?
Yep.
I'm sure you did. You probably bet it.
Yep.
You probably had Northwestern State money line somehow
No,
because
I didn't
Jake
have
is a
money
college
line.
basketball expert. Oh, but you did have. Wait, you really did have Demons with the points?
Plus the points.
I can't believe you're gambling on TCU Northwestern State basketball on November 15th. That is awesome.
That's when the lines are the best.
Yeah, soft early lines, baby. Let's go. Do it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download it today.
Like
Promo
Florida
code
Atlantic
Baton
over
Rouge.
Florida. Florida getting way too many points.
Wow. But yeah, if you missed it, TCU's ranked 15th in the country. Huge win for the Demons. Again, fork 'em. Shout out to Survive623 who told me about it in the chat.
3-1 great.
So DraftKings, download the DraftKings Sports we got today. And look, you can gamble on a little bit of everything. Any same game parlays, any live betting if you come to a game late. You do what Jake does, build up parlays, not just like do different leagues, but even like he hit one the other day where like one of the 8 legs was like the next basket will be a 2 instead of a 3. And so you can really massage this thing however you want with DraftKings. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app.
21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. Minimum $5 deposit. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867.
So, the USC is the Pac-12's last hope to make the playoff. Like we just said, though, Jake, they're probably not going to make it. That's just too tough a road. I think if they do make it, first off, unreal credit to Lincoln Riley. And Jake, this sounds a bit weird, but if they make it, I'm terrified if I'm an Oklahoma fan. Because it's telling me that even though I have incredible school history, right, and it's a lot of power in the soil, and I get that, but it's telling me that maybe I was a little too quick to say, that it wasn't about Lincoln Riley, it was about Oklahoma, right? If Lincoln Riley brings USC through that 3-game gauntlet to the playoff, that's going to tell Oklahoma fans that maybe he was doing a bit more of the heavy lifting than you thought. What else is telling you that is Brent Venables is doing awful.
Yeah.
And what sucks is, Jake, if I'm an Oklahoma fan, Venables has never been head coach. It's not like Brian Kelly. Like, if Brian Kelly did bad this year, we could still do mental gymnastics with his resume and make cogent arguments about why it would be okay. You can't do that with Venables. This is his first time outside of Dabo's womb, stepping away from the nest, and it's gone very poorly.
2-5 in conference.
Oof, and a bad 2-5.
And you have right now. Now we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but we all assume sooner rather than later. You're about to go to the SEC, and you talk about limping into the SEC.
Oof.
I mean, you're 2-5 right now, and let's say you have another year where maybe you're 7-5 next year, and that's the way that you come into the SEC. It ain't going to get any easier.
No, so I'm sorry I got it off on an Oklahoma tangent there. And you know what else? Oklahoma fans aren't used to losing at all. Like, there's not a more spoiled fan base in the entire country. They are not going to handle this
They've given up the second most points in conference play this year. Only West Virginia has given up more. And
defensive genius.
I was about to say, that was supposed to be the thing that was for sure fixed.
All Oh, I'm so happy West Virginia fired their AD as well, dude.
You scored the second least amount of points there in the Big 12 conference in conference play. Only Iowa State scored a lower amount of points in conference play.
That's good luck, Oklahoma fans. So anyway, if the Pac-12 gets eliminated, then that means Tennessee's in, right? And then I guess the other part of this would be if the Big 12, like if TCU falls, I think that's when the door could potentially open for LSU. Might need to expound on this. I know we're doing this kind of up against the clock. So here's what we'll do. We'll do mailbag when we get back, then maybe revisit playoffs. And then we got Kim Mulkey at 8:30. It's going to be a fun hour, too. Get your questions in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. See you on the other side.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com. Look, man, you want to feel younger, better? Throw on a cool Hawaiian shirt with a bunch of multicolored fish all over it. Or go into Rejuve Me Medical and see if HRT is for you, okay? Get a consultation. Let them draw your lab. See where your body's efficient, where it's not. If you have any questions, you can check out the Rejuve Me Medical YouTube channel. Look, the bottom line is this doesn't have to be some, like, overbearing, like, I'm nervous about it. No, this is fun. This is good. We're talking about feeling better, okay? And Rejuve Me can get you there to feeling like your best self.
A couple of different things as well. Like T mentioned the HRT stuff. I mean, you go to RejuveMeMedical.com and you find the list of conditions they treat. Chances are you're going to find something that you need help with. You can always pick up the phone as well. Give them a call. Tell them how you're feeling. Tell them what maybe you think you have going on. They're going to help you get to the bottom of it. 225-230-4201.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, November 15th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 58. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag coming up next, so get your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat and we'll get them answered. We also talk to LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey at 8:30, and we talk Saints with Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football at 9 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Just know you would lose the battle.
Yo. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Jake, if you're in a cold weather game, broth, hot chocolate, or what was the other one?
Coffee.
Which one are you drinking?
Broth. At least that's what I've done in the past. Now, coffee's never been an option.
I was about to say, surely the coffee could not. Like, okay,
But hot chocolate and broth have been an option in multiple places that I've been in.
It's so funny.
I don't know.
I guess I never played cold weather games.
Well, I guess they never had it taped and said what it was, and the cameras picked it up. Yeah,
No, but I think about broth maybe like sitting a little heavy on the stomach or something.
No, just a little. You don't guzzle. It's sip. We'll sip.
Like hot chocolate, maybe like same type of deal.
We'll sip.
But then again, like I said yesterday, Marshawn used to get his sugar rush going with the Skittles, and it worked.
Mark Sanchez ate a hot dog on the sidelines.
Yeah. That is.
You remember
I forgot
that?
about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I kind of forgot about Mark Sanchez. Mark. Well, no, that's not true.
He's calling games.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez does great at covering football. What is he, like one of the 12 people on Big Noon Saturday? I'm pretty sure. Jake, before we get into mailbag, is Lane Kiffin going to go to Auburn? Where's this all coming from? It feels like there's a lot of juice.
Brandon Marcello, who is now a national writer, but he was tapped into Auburn. Like, he's kind of had him as his top guy from the get-go.
Wow.
And just like you do, just like everybody listening, just like I'm sure everybody, we have group chats, and you got friends from other places that support other teams. And, the Auburn fans still assume they can get whoever they want, depending on who the target is, and kind of stepping on Ole Miss while talking about Lane coming to Auburn. Is Auburn, on paper, like the better job? Yeah, Auburn is a top 10 as far as evaluation, college football program, revenue-wise. Like, them and LSU are tied for 10th.
Huh.
Ole Miss is 24th. Now, Ole Miss is still, I think, a better job than people give it credit for, but also, like, it's stable. He could do almost no wrong in Oxford. There's a lot of things that Lane could do and get away with right now for the equity that he's built up there in Oxford. Now, we know Auburn comes with a lot of toxic nature. Mm-hmm. Now Lane, does he think that he's hit the ceiling on what Ole Miss can be? That's the question. Because they've had a really nice team last year. You get to a Sugar Bowl, you lose that Sugar Bowl. You've had a really nice team this year, but you still lose to LSU. You lose to Alabama. Has he taken that job to the highest that it possibly can go in his mind? That would be the question.
Is that how you took his rant Saturday?
A little bit.
Really?
I mean, he's kind of had. He's had little.
That's what Aaron
He's
was
had
saying
little
on
jabs.
Snaps
He's
as
had
well.
little jabs throughout the season too. It's
And
not just Saturday.
And I know it's been partially motivating the booster base, and the NIL money is better than it's ever been there. But I don't know, man. I very much started this Lane to Auburn conversation at like, why would he want to go start over when he's just rebuilt? But I am starting to see it a little more. Like, the buy-in from Auburn is insane. The finances are better. The new facilities are fantastic. And to me, the main thing is Lane wants Saban. I do feel that. I feel it in my bones. I feel like he wants to supplant him. Like, he would love nothing more than to get a victory over Saban. And I wonder if he feels like Auburn, like you said, if Ole Miss is kind of capped, is Auburn his best path to do it? So I started this conversation because you know me, I'm not very high on the Auburn job in the context of having Nick Saban and Kirby Smart on one side or the other. But if anybody's crazy enough to bet on himself, and anybody could pull it off, Lane would feel like that guy because he comes with great schematic advantages. He can use the transfer portal very well, and I think that he can recruit well. And those are things that Auburn's going to need immediately for whoever takes over. So it's something to keep an eye on. It's a bit I wonder if he would actually make that move. I guess only time will tell.
Now, the Cadillac portion of that, too, we talked about it yesterday. Obviously, great scenes over the weekend. We saw what their crowd did. Would they make a move? Would they hire Cadillac to be their coach? It doesn't feel like it.
They're not going to.
It feels like they want such a big splash.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think their fan base would accept, paying $37 billion in buyouts. I don't think John Cohen wants his first hire to be, whether it's fair or not. Yeah, whether it's fair or not to Carnell. I don't think he wants his first hire to be an interim coach. So I wouldn't expect so. Again, we will see where Auburn goes over the next couple of weeks. Right now, let's dive into a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
They'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Daniel Basham wants to know, Mario, whether or not the cold weather helps to preserve the bodies buried in your yard.
Yes, it helps.
Yeah, it does make the ground a little harder to dig, though, no?
A little bit, but, give some, take some.
That's true. Everything everything has advantages and disadvantages in this life. Hashtag going to be mailbag, big or mini marshmallows in your hot chocolate? In hot chocolate, mini marshmallows, for sure. I like big marshmallows better if I'm just like eating a marshmallow, but yeah.
What about s'more?
Big, for sure. Right? Nobody's putting minis on a s'more. Would be insane. How would you cook them? You know what I'm saying? Like.
So I got a little hack. If you don't have a fire, if you're just, you want a s'more and it's like, May, you can put it in the microwave for like 8 seconds.
Oh, you can do mini then.
And yeah, the marshmallow just puffs up, comes back down, and it's hot.
Okay. Hashtag going to be mailbag. What's your excitement level 1 through 10 for the World Cup beginning this weekend?
11.
I'm very pumped up. And I also am a little excited to see whatever, like, it's going to be a bit of a crap show logistically, which I'm a bit intrigued to see because FIFA's corruption just gets exposed more and more every single day. But I'm excited for the soccer, mainly. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm as well. Look, U.S. missed the last World Cup, so them being back in obviously brings excitement. We love yelling at each other, Danny and Team Mexico. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait.
8 years ago. Think about life 8 years ago.
Do we when is USA England? Monday?
It is Black Friday.
Black Friday?
No. Yeah, they start off with Wales.
Okay, so
Wales,
we
England,
are actually going to be at City Slice on Black Friday live to watch the game. And
we did decide it's going to be on Black Friday?
I think so.
I hope so.
I don't think it's official yet because we might be off that day.
Oh.
But if we're working.
I don't know then. Don't listen. I mean, I don't know, dude. I thought I was told that. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
To be fair to you, they've told us
some point.
They've told us like 4 different dates.
So. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite flavor of chips?
That's impossible.
Not for me. Zapp's spicy Cajun crawtator.
Ruffles, sour cream and cheddar ruffles.
I bet your breast milk's so good after those.
Sour cream and cheddar ruffles, when I was a child, were my favorite.
I mean, mine changes so much. I mean, I love chili cheese Fritos. I love regular Fritos. I love Sun Chips. I love just a good old
interesting
Lay.
Top 3 you just set out there.
Oh,
top
Fritos.
4. Wait. You went chili cheese Fritos, regular Fritos, and then what was the
Sun
third
Chips.
one? Sun Chips. I love
all
Sun
flavors.
Chips. Harvest cheddar Sun Chips.
I love it. Yeah.
And then
I love like just an old school Lay.
An old school Lay might be the worst.
The big Lay.
What?
Yes, easily.
You think an old school Lay with like a hot dog or hamburger in the summer?
Yeah, just a thin little. I mean, I'll eat it. I'm not too big for anything. Let's be clear. I'll eat it. That's not saying much. But no, I would never choose it. It's like
Mr. Vanilla wouldn't choose a regular Lay.
I'd take a regular Ruffle. A regular Lay is like those breath mint
The
squares, the sheets. Yeah, it's just like a potato sheet. It's not actually a chip. It's like paper. There's like nothing there except for grease and paper.
Baked or classic? Which you prefer?
Get out of here with baked, dude.
I eat baked because I'm healthy, but come on, man.
Baked tastes like garbage.
As my wife says, if I wanted cardboard, I'd eat that box.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I agree, man.
I get the baked when I go to Subway, Danny, and I'm trying to eat healthy.
Yeah, well,
you're eating healthy. You probably get the meatball sub.
If you want to eat healthy, don't eat chips. Is the thing there, though. Like that's my point. Like that's why I don't give a damn about a baked lay. Like just don't eat chips if you really want to eat healthy. Instead of punishing yourself with these awful tasting cardboard pieces of paper. Hashtag go to be mailbag. Are you excited to see Summer Rae at LSU this weekend?
Oh,
Sugar Ray?
No, Summer Rae.
Who's Summer Rae?
I didn't know she was coming, but she's like an insta thought.
Oh, really?
So wait,
Danny's excited.
Okay.
Danny literally said, "Ooh."
Ooh.
Yeah, she's like top 5.
Oh, wow. Okay, Daniel. Well, I hope you get to meet her this weekend. Hashtag go to be mailbag. Does it make me a bad person? It'd be tighter if it was Sugar Ray, by the way. Way tighter. Way tighter. Hashtag go to be mailbag. Does it make me a bad person to do Thanksgiving at home with my children for the holidays instead of going to my parents with my siblings and their children?
So this is the first year since before I went to LSU that I'll have like that time off because I'm not working a game. And I'm excited. I'm going to see multiple family members, and I'm excited about that because I've just never had that opportunity since I was 18 years old.
I've done all kind of Thanksgivings. This is like a lot of times not living by family is not the best because you'd love like grandparents and be able to like help out the kids and stuff. But I kind of like it. Like I'm really looking forward to this Thanksgiving, cooking at my house, not having a ton of people there.
Oh, that's surprising.
It's gonna be great.
Just because you come from a big family.
I like both.
You don't get together often. So
I've done a ton of big family Thanksgivings, and they're wonderful. But I mean, with the baby coming, there's gonna be something really nice about just chilling out, drinking beer, cooking a turkey all day, and like my dad and sister will come over from New Orleans and stuff, so it'll be fun.
Team Ham.
What's that?
Team Ham.
Yeah.
How about this? Team both. Let's just put it all on my plate,
Ham
all
and
in
spear.
one giant amalgamated mess. I'll even
Honey
throw some
ham?
cranberry sauce in there.
Give me a honey ham.
Yeah, you should do a Tom Fitzmaurice, the old the legend of New Orleans food radio. Taught me how to make like a Barks root beer ham. That was amazing.
I can get that. Katie sometimes will put like a Coke in a rump roast, like in a slow cooker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hashtag go to be mailbag. Did y'all see the newest bowl predictions? LSU, KSU in the Sugar Bowl.
We
Payback
did.
time.
We talked about it at the very end of yesterday's show. Hey, you played LSU with 38 scholarship players. Here's the full arsenal of LSU.
Hashtag go to be mailbag. Would you consider Jake too pretty to be pretty? No. Jake's the 99th degree in a lot of ways. He is a pretty boy at heart. Also, this kind of, now that I'm just looking at this again, it does have, the cowboy collar has a little bit of a toilet bowl feel. So I want to make one because this is much more representative of me to SHITTY to be pretty. To,
Look, you see a toilet seat with the laces?
No. I'm saying like I would remove the laces and then mine would say to what word I just spelled to be pretty. That could work, dude. That could work. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
99th degree, but I've got the most grit in this room.
Well, I mean, that's not saying much. I just want to paint miniatures all day, ideally. I don't want to like fight or talk to any of y'all. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do T-Bob's hands shrink even smaller in cold weather?
Yes.
No.
That ball makes his hands look like the miniatures that he paints.
There's a lie. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Who in the studio is most likely to peak during Heads Up 7-Up?
I used to do it all the time.
Okay, okay. So my instinct was Mario, but when I thought about it, I knew it was Danny. Definitely Danny. Mario's got a bit too much.
He's competitive, I think.
Well, Mario would also
It's against his moral.
Yes, exactly. Mario is very beholden to the code, and breaking the code of Heads Up 7-Up would I just don't see him.
And
doing
Danny's always on the prowl to try to get a picture of somebody or do something embarrassing.
100%. 100%.
Not a picture of somebody. That's Mario.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Are mashed potatoes a waste of space on a Thanksgiving plate?
No.
Are you an idiot?
What?
Are you
mashed
an
potatoes
idiot?
are fantastic. Who's cooking your mashed potatoes?
Mine, not for rent. So yeah,
okay.
That's crazy, dude. Mashed potato. I'm angry now. Is it okay to start playing Christmas music?
No.
No.
December 1st.
Yes.
The day after Thanksgiving is okay.
Once the weather turns, if it's cold, I'm going to say yes. If it goes back to hot, you have to chill. Until it turns to December, then it doesn't matter.
And I
with
love
the weather.
Christmas music. It's one of my favorite times of the year with that music, but
Okay, so if we don't want Christmas music, I have a lot of good kind of vaguely holiday feeling fall jazzy type stuff I can give y'all.
Yeah, we saw your tweet you're talking about.
Oh, dude, the Vince Guaraldi trio is popping off in this weather, bro.
Oh,
I
God.
mean, banging, dude. I cannot.
so is Mark Chestnut. You know, it's just everybody has their different taste.
Dude, it is incredible. I just can't stop listening. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Is it okay to drink eggnog before Thanksgiving? Again, my Christmas rules. If it's pre-December and it's cold, I'll allow for Christmas stuff. If it's hot, we got to chill. Now, in December, cold or hot, doesn't matter. Do everything you want.
Yes.
So if it's cold outside right now, you want to drink eggnog, I say go ahead.
I don't like eggnog.
I like one glass, like 1 or 2 glasses. But I find that just like straight liquor with a couple pieces of ice goes down way better. At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's yes. My feelings.
Like that's why I was so excited to make that gumbo yesterday, because I had grandma in town. I was like, get these kids the hell up out of here. I didn't want my mom seeing me drinking whiskey at like 4 p.m. while stirring this root for 2 hours, but it was magnificent, dude. Got a great afternoon inebriated buzz on. You cannot drink eggnog all year in Petros Tiger. That is insane. If I find you drinking eggnog during the summer, I'm calling the cops on you.
That's what Mario does.
Yeah, exactly. I'm calling the cops on you for sure. All right, we have to go to break, and when we get back, we'll probably talk a little playoff, and then we got Kim Mulkey coming up after that. Keep it locked, OTP.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
As far as the proper ratio of booze to nog, Bobby Hotep says 50-50. I'm saying like 70-30. I only want a little bit of nog. I want mainly alcohol. Otherwise, it's going to be a little too sweet. You know what you should do if you're putting up your Christmas decorations? Get it done. Okay, that didn't work. Get it done with the G Team. Get Gordon and get it done, just like the G Team's doing right now. Jake, is there a new member of the G Team?
There is, and it's one of my favorite players to watch in all of college football. That is Josh Williams. Josh Williams is now T-Bob part of the G Team. They continue to get it done.
What an awesome time in which you're rewarded for playing well by joining the best team in all of Baton Rouge. Your local injury attorneys, Gordon McKernan Company, going to get you right, just like the boys are getting it right on the field, just like Coach Mulkey's squad is getting it right on the court. A couple of 70-point wins over the weekend. Can't wait to talk to Coach Mulkey about it. But again, join the G Team today, 888-8888.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com. That's GEAUX catch.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance. This summer, visit your local Acura dealer.
Join me, Jimmy Out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Jake Martin, Danny hanging out with you today.
Where'd you get that shirt, though, for real?
I
mean, look, anytime you can add to your closet, I'm appreciative because, you know, I see a lot of the same things.
This is my mom and Danny went to Italy recently, and she brought me back like a couple like really out there.
I mean, it looks
linen Hawaiian shirts
like T-Bob.
Yeah, it's very summery. I mean, this is ideally, obviously, a very summery shirt. But I just got it yesterday, so I wanted, or she just gave it me yesterday, so I wanted to try it out, see what the.
Mom's still in town?
It was just a couple days. He's leaving this morning.
It's I can't really say anything. I go to California for like 2 days too, so I can't really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Dude. It was 2 days. Yesterday was probably the best Monday I've ever had. I didn't have to touch a kid. It was awesome. It was incredible. Now it sounds weird how I just said that, but. You get the point. I had to do no parenting. Yesterday is what I actually meant. I don't touch kids.
Stop. Just move on.
Okay.
Move along.
Okay. So, Jake, before the end of hour one, right, we were discussing the playoff. And do you agree with me when I say that if the Pac-12 is eliminated, then Tennessee is in? Or TCU. Like if the Big 12 or Pac-12 is eliminated, then Tennessee is automatically in.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with Reese Davis yesterday off campus, and he talked about Tennessee probably more than he talked about any team in the position that they're in. Because, like, Georgia still has to play LSU. Now, they're going to be a favorite in that game, but as we know, like we've seen this play out before, they still have to play LSU, and they can probably still lose, unless it was like some ugly loss, and still be fine. But Tennessee's just sitting there. And they know TCU still has to play in a Big 12 championship game. They know Ohio State and Michigan still have to play each other. They know, again, Georgia has to play LSU. They know that they dominated LSU, and so they hold that over LSU's head as well. So he talked about Tennessee and the spot that they're in.
And the catbird seat.
And I agree with him. Like, they're in that spot that Alabama's been in before, where we know we're going to have one loss. We're not going to have to play in the SEC championship game. We didn't win our division, but we might win the national championship.
Yeah, turns out it's not so bad when you don't have to play another elite team. You get a full week off, another week to rest your body, preparation, all that sort of stuff. And obviously, if you're hearing the salt in my voice, it is coming from my own experience with Alabama not winning their half of the division and making it BCS national championship. But honestly, I think Tennessee is a playoff team. Only if, but if USC is conference champs with one loss, they absolutely deserve to be in. And if TCU's undefeated, they deserve to be in. And then it would probably be Georgia and the winner, obviously, of the Big Ten. So Tennessee does not control their own destiny. But yes, certainly if those conferences and conference champions start to fall, then I understand why they get back in. Before we get to LSU, Jake, because let's say the Pac-12's out, say TCU falls, which again, I'm not hoping for. Or I guess, no, I'm not hoping for it, dude. I kind of want TCU to shove it up everyone's, you know what. But if both those conferences are out, that would feel like the path for LSU if they were to beat Georgia and maybe again. But what happens with Clemson? Is there a chance that Clemson gets back into this thing? Because there's already, I mean, look, UNC's doing really well. If UNC enters,
but the committee
doesn't
value UNC like I do.
Look, and I hate
you
and
do.
I hate Clemson, and I don't want them to get in.
I know, but they don't value UNC enough for Clemson to get that victory and for it to mean enough.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're right. Okay, so help me out then. Let's say that both the Pac-12 and Big 12 fall, LSU loses. So you got UGA in, you got Big Ten winner in, you got Tennessee in. Who's going to be that fourth team? You'd have a one-loss Michigan or Ohio State. You would have
Alabama's ahead of Clemson right now.
So that's what I was going to say. Is it Alabama or Clemson after that?
No, if Alabama gets in the playoff with no.
Okay, so then it's Clemson. Is that crazy? Is he like
I think depending on how that game went, the loser of Ohio State Michigan, if it's a 24-21 game, both those teams get in.
Okay, so then it'd be Tennessee, it'd be two Big Ten teams and two SEC teams.
Yep. And
okay,
the world would melt.
The two big conferences, right? Getting it done. But I mean, that makes sense. They'd have one loss. But then again, dude, I do wonder, would Ohio State with a loss or Michigan with a loss, would that resume actually stack up against an ACC champion Clemson?
Yeah.
You think it would?
In their eyes.
They don't play anybody.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. But in their eyes, they're telling us the story with where they've ranked these teams. Okay. To me, and I went off on it last week, like Clemson got booted out of the benefit of the doubt club real fast.
Yeah, they should not be there.
With one loss, they got booted out. Now, I know what that loss looked like, but they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 ranked wins. They're going to have a fourth in your scenario.
Are they still ranked wins? I mean, not that that's like the biggest deal, but like in the end, it will matter.
No, yeah, to your point, no. Syracuse is out, NC State's out, Wake's out. So UNC would be their only current.
The ACC is doing themselves no favors in how they've played down the stretch here. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens. I'm interested to see what they do with the rankings tonight. Maybe that'll give us some insight as to who would be next in line. Last thing before we're going to break here, Jake. If that same thing happened, Big 12, Pac-12 out because TCU loses and USC loses.
Yep.
And LSU wins the SEC championship.
Yep.
Do we reach the 3 SEC team scenario? It'd be a Big Ten champion, obviously.
If Michigan or Ohio State gets housed.
What if they don't get housed? Because to me, it's not even them. To me, it almost comes down to does LSU jump Tennessee because they won the SEC championship? And is that possible? Would Tennessee smash LSU head to head?
If Tennessee wasn't in front of LSU, the path I could get you there so easy. But it's because the head to head. What's the committee going to value?
Yeah.
That happened in October, or the SEC champion?
Again, like we said yesterday, LSU broke the BCS in 2007, winning with 2 losses. Broke the BCS for good in 2011 by having to deal with this insane rematch. It's only right that they break the 4-team playoff by beating Georgia and making the committee create impossible decision points.
So if LSU did get in, obviously they would get in as a 4. Ohio State or Michigan would probably be the 1.
Yeah. Winner of the Big Ten will George. Oh, yeah, because George loses. Yeah.
Because they wouldn't want a rematch. No. So Georgia would be 2 or 3. Yeah. Oof. Well, it'll play out. Obviously, it will play out. LSU's got a lot of work still to do.
I still think these are fun hypotheticals to have. Like, we do college football talk. Like, that's like, this is why the playoff works, because these scenarios are fun to run through, even though every year it's different than what you think it's going to be. Like, something unexpected is going to happen. And
I know a lot of people are saying, and I know we got a break, but a lot of people are like, man, if you don't miss that extra point against Florida State, and very fair, I understand that, because now Florida State's a 7-3 football team, so it's not a bad loss. But also, like, what did that season do to mold your season? That game, to mold your season. There was a lot of changes for LSU personnel-wise after that game.
Good point.
Because of the way that game went. And so you never know. You don't know how that shapes your season. Would you like to play that game again? Absolutely. And you get a chance next year to play that game, but you don't really know what that did for your season. And, again, it's not an ugly loss. I mean, it's still a 7-3 ranked football team. The Tennessee loss and the way that it happened, that's probably the biggest stain against you right now.
I agree. All right, when we get back, let's talk to Coach Kim Mulkey here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552 for all your plumbing needs. One-stop plumbing shop. Too itty to be pretty. It's the way that you describe my toilet. And guess what? Central Plumbing can make that toilet a little more pretty by fixing the pipes, making sure everything's running 100%, 24/7 emergency service. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured who comes into your home. And, you don't lift a finger. So, don't think twice. And it's not just residential, commercial as well. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, the fact that you thought this was a toilet seat lets me know you don't have grit, but you got the itty part of it, which is fine, right? So Central Plumbing is going to help you with the itty part. T-Bob, 225-925-8552. Centralplumbing.org is the website. Remember, bathroom remodels at your business, at your house, tankless water heater, never run out of hot water. Centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Prep Football Playoffs, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview, presented by the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Catholic High and Archbishop Rummel kick off at 7, immediately followed by the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, Your View, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I wanna say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Every Tuesday at 8:30 we do this. We love it so much. We talk to the best coach on LSU's campus, and that is the legend, Coach Kim Mulkey. Basketball season underway, and, the LSU women's basketball team, they're pouring it on as 3-0 in 3 games, going over 100 points every single time. I believe 3 70-point margins of victory, 70 points plus. It's been an overwhelming start here to the new year. Coach Mulkey, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining us again.
Well, good morning. It's cold. It's finally winter time, and Thanksgiving, the holiday season's around the corner. And, we're scoring a few points, but let me tell you, these teams we're playing are not on our level.
Yeah.
Sadly, when you do the schedule, you do it so far in advance, guys. We didn't know we were going to have Angel Reese. We didn't know we were going to have Kateri Poo. We didn't know we were going to get all these transfers. So you can't overschedule and yet build a program. So I wish it was in reverse order and that our non-conference was tougher. But in building a program, you have to be careful about scheduling, especially, of course, non-conference. Our conference is done for us.
Yeah, exactly, right? And the SEC conference is tough enough where, it does feel like ultimately you can accomplish whatever goals that you need to accomplish if you win in said conference. So when you're trying to evaluate these blowouts, Coach, and it was, 111-41 against Mississippi Valley, 107-34 against West Carolina, what kind of lessons can you draw from these games? How do you use these games as teaching moments for your team?
Well, the first thing you're going to say is at least we're building confidence in these kids that have to play when we get to SEC play. You're building confidence, but you don't want it to be fool's gold either. Mm-hmm. So you're constantly in the film room with them, one-on-one in Coach Bob Starkey's office, and let them know you got away with that there because that team just is not good enough to do that, but you're going to get exposed big time when we get to SEC play. You're constantly teaching. It allows me to play different combinations to really understand, that's not a good combination when we're in a tight game. And it helps me a little bit on which 5 are my best defensive 5 together, which 5 are my best offensive 5 together, things like that. And it's in a more relaxed setting and not as intense.
What about the rotation, Coach? Obviously, when you're up in a game like you've been, how do you make sure that your players that are going to be the players playing in the SEC get enough minutes out there? Because obviously, you want to protect them. You don't want them in there when you're up by 40 and getting hurt. But how do you balance that rotation to make sure they're getting enough time?
Well, you got to give them right around 20 minutes. You want them to play at least half a basketball game. Some get a little more, 23. Some get 18. You want to be in that ballpark because, 1, they got to work out. They've got to, work up a sweat. And 2, you do get nervous that an injury could happen. Example being the other night, they let me know, Coach, let Samaya get one more rebound. She'll have double-digit rebounds. And if Angel gets 2 more, I don't know if it was points or rebounds, that's her all-time career high. I just couldn't pull the trigger and put those kids back in.
No. I agree, Coach. Not worth it. RJ Arsenault in the chat, Coach, and I know coaches don't tend to like questions like this, but I do want to hear your answer. He says, how does the LSU team match up to the South Carolinas of the world? He says he's optimistic.
Well, I love optimistic people, but I'm a realist. South Carolina is the best team in the country. They should win another national championship with all the returning players they have and all the transfers that they brought in. Let's just eliminate that. But the best teams don't always win, right?
Yep,
so we're going to compete. We're going to get better. I give my props to those that are supposed to be better than everybody else, and they have not proven me wrong. They are that good.
Coach, does the ranking mean anything to you at this point, moving up to 15, or is that just kind of whatever?
Well, in my world, because I've been doing this so long, it's whatever. But in our world at LSU, you bet it means something because it's relevant. It helps us get recognized. It sends messages to recruits. Hey, guys, just look at this. Just a year and a half, 2 years later, we go from winning 9 games, and now look where we are. And look what we did last. All that's positive, and you welcome that.
Now, Coach, I know you've got something coming up. You've got the field trip game tomorrow at 11 a.m. versus Northwestern State. I know there's some Hester boys that are excited about that. They're going to be on a field trip, be at that game. So early start, a little bit different there, but should have a really nice crowd full of youngsters cheering the entire time.
If you don't have an appreciation for teachers, come to that game tomorrow if you don't ever watch the court. And it's screaming, it's hollering, it's kids running around, it's noise, it's great. I'm not sure how much basketball any of them will pay attention to, but it's a field trip nonetheless, and it's something those kids will remember, and it's certainly something we enjoy having.
It's going to be a great day. We're talking to LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey, the legend. Coach, so we love to kind of pick your brain just on general life and general coaching between sports, and we know that you do love this LSU football team. What were your thoughts on the Tigers here? I think there's kind of some interesting similarities, right, in terms of exceeding expectations, what you did last year, and now the football team wrapping up the West. What were your thoughts coming out of Saturday where, they survived a pretty hairy one?
Well, I'm a fan of all sports, and especially when you watch somebody improve and turn the beginning of the season from what looked, kind of grim and everybody complaining, the Florida State game, to where we are today. I love to acknowledge and address people that are just negative people, and it just makes me smile. That's a trap game going to Fayetteville, Arkansas, guys. That was a trap game, and coaches don't like to admit that, but you just come off one unbelievable high, and you've got to get them back up and make them understand if what you did yesterday still looks big to you today, then you haven't done much today. And go on the road, cold weather conditions. There are going to be games that you're not going to play well. There are going to be those games, and you just have to grind it out and play one more series, make one more touchdown, one more field goal, and that's what we did.
Now, Coach, let me ask you about the situation that team's in. I want to pick your brain just from what you've done in your career, because I'm sure that you've clinched a conference before the regular season was over. LSU has clinched the SEC West. Like, as a coach, what would your message be to LSU? They still have 2 regular season games left. They've got UAB. They've got Texas A&M. Although you have clinched Atlanta, like, you got to win these games if you want a chance to play in the playoff and obviously get to like a bowl game. Even if you don't, that would be a marquee bowl game. So I'm sure you've been in that situation. What have you told your team when you've clinched, although you still have games left to play?
Well, you're honest with them, or I'm honest with them. I congratulate them. We celebrate it. We don't ever take it for granted. We celebrate it, and then we go right back to work, and we say, okay, we accomplished that goal, or we exceeded our goal. Our goal may not have been realistic to win it, but look what we did, and you just kind of put a big X in there and go, that's behind us now. Now we've got a 2-game schedule left. Do you want to go 0-2? Do you want to go 1-1? You want to go 2-0?
Yep.
Guys, if you do this and other people lose, do you realize you may can slip into the playoffs?
Yep.
And you just kind of lay it out. See, in our season, I break it down into 4: your non-conference, your conference tournament, and the NCAA. And so after every one of those is over, we grade ourselves. How do you think we did? And now we flush it, and then we move to the next season, and that's how I would approach it.
Coach, we love getting your insight every single Tuesday here. Thank you so much. Go out tomorrow, 11 a.m., LSU, the field trip game. Like Coach said, going to be a ton of fun. And this Sunday, the Demons coming to town for a little afternoon battle, 2 p.m. in the PMAC. Coach Mulkey, thank you so much for joining us.
Guys, have a good one.
And remember, go get your tickets at lsutix.net. I'm sure you can still buy season tickets as well. Really been burning it up there. Great fun for the family. Great product, obviously, if you love scoring. If you got anybody who loves basketball, go watch the legend firsthand. When we get back, closing out hour number 2 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. We're telling you all the time, man, if you love OTB, then you love All-Star Toyota because they've been with us, supporting us for a long time. Well, maybe, if that motivates you to support the boys, to want to go in there, that's great. But really why you should go in there is it's everything we always talk about. It's the great deals. It's the customer service. It's the selection. It's all of the options, whether you buy new, used, Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get that warranty coverage, renting with Miss Lisa Sessions and cheaper per day rental pricing than traditional rental companies. Like, there are many, many, many reasons to go into All-Star Toyota. And the main one is that you leave happy. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today.
Yeah, remember, you can go in and you can customize your vehicle. If you want the murdered out Mini like T-Bob drives around, you can do that. If you want like the all white with black tires, little stormtrooper look, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. You can customize that vehicle to your likings. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments.
As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. Glenn West on the Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints, and Kendall Rogers talking fall baseball. Hunt and Hill, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Bring it.
What? On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. That's it, now honey, come ride. DKNY.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Put it up, I don't light it.
Better rapper than Eminem right here, boys.
I feel like we've probably had like an argument about that I forgot about, so I'm just going to let it slide.
No, it's an old college argument. All my boys are like massive Eminem fans, and I'm kind of ambivalent.
It's you and Rivers that hate Eminem, right?
So I hate Eminem because I don't love him?
I thought you did say that.
No, I said I'm ambivalent.
I know, but that's now.
I said I never find myself and never have found myself being like, ooh, I want to casually listen to some Eminem.
Okay.
But in an attempt to argue Will Smith over Eminem, I created an entire equation called money per rap hours invested. And my point was, because he had like some like album that like, I don't know, there was some stat about him versus Eminem back then.
Right.
This is all based off of. And I was like, well, no, see, he's obviously been a rapper because on a ratio basis, the money that he has made per the hours that he has invested in rap is at a higher rate than Eminem.
He only puts out bangers.
Yeah, well, Eminem, has worked 24/7 his entire life, and certainly he's very successful. But I mean, Will Smith basically dips his toe in and blows people away. So Will Smith, better rapper than Eminem. Okay, that's facts. And it's also great with the, one of my favorite lines Eminem's ever said. Will Smith doesn't have to curse to sell records, well, I do. So F him and F you too. I mean, that's great. I do think that is very funny and very enjoyable. Coming up next hour, we got Nick Underhill kicking it off, 9 a.m. Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
Now, I say that, like, if you're doing what Nick does, and he does a fantastic job. By the way, like, when I get on DraftKings and I'm trying to, like, create a showdown captain mode, and I go to Saints players, it's always like, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football reports.
Oh, nice.
And like, he's definitely our go-to guy for the Saints. But like, when you're doing what he does, I think you either want it one of two ways. You want him really, really good or really, really bad to get your numbers up.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
so he has the bad portion of it right now.
So the problem is that only becomes an issue when you're extended bad, right? Flash in the pan bad is great for business. It's like a big loss. You know, a ton of people listen and watch after a big loss. But if you keep losing and then people stop caring and they get checked out because it's a bad product, that's when you start to suffer. So, yeah, this year is not awful because, honestly, these conversations are fascinating right now. Like, everybody wants to fire Dennis Allen. People want to go back to Jameis Winston. There's a fascinating sit-down on New Orleans Football where Mike Triplett has a really in-depth and really open interview with Jameis Winston where Winston is basically lamenting the fact. Now, he is also, Jake, he's just being very honest. He's saying, look, man, I think I really screwed up playing in that Tampa game. I was too injured, did it anyway, trying to put it on for the team. And just that he kind of, he thinks he's healthy enough to play again and he wants another shot at playing. And but at the end of the day, he does also like acknowledge, and he says, but everything I'm doing, I got the CMS, just like everything I want to do is honestly just what is best for the team. And so that's why I flew to London while I'm sleeping in a back brace with a broken back because I knew the team needed me in like an emergency situation, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, that, he wants to play like anybody would want to play. And so I'm interested to see if Nick has, we know actually because he tweeted on Sunday. But I think Nick has come around to that as well, wanting Jameis Winston back in there. So we'll see. I think I'm more interested to see what Nick says about Dennis Allen, because that's the elephant in the room, whether or not you stick with him. And a little bit of I don't know.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I was going to say like a Venables situation, but that's not really true because the whole point of Venables, he doesn't have a resume. The whole point of Allen is that he has a bad resume. AccuTip of Baton Rouge has a great resume, Jake. Go look at the online reviews. Okay? I mean, they are unbelievable. AccuTip of Baton Rouge, what do they say? They say service to the highest degree. And the degrees are going down, which means your heater needs to go up, which means you may need to get your system checked out by AccuTip. Avoid any catastrophic issues over the winter, and it's probably going to warm up again, and then get cold again. So just make sure your system's running at full capacity with AccuTip of Baton Rouge. Again, the best customer service in the business. Go look at the online reviews if you don't believe me.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing that you want with the holidays coming up, you have an issue with your system and you got family over and all of a sudden it's cold. You can't turn the heater on. Maybe it heats back up. You can't turn the AC on because you shocked the system, and you're not going to have that problem if you're part of the Star membership like T-Bob and like I am right now. AccuTipBR.com is the website. Check it out today, AccuTipBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 15th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 58. Coming up on OTBOT, we talk Saints with Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football up next. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome into hour number 3 of OTB. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Every single week here, we talk to Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football as we attempt to make sense of what has been a very disappointing year thus far for the Black and Gold. New Orleans Football is the site. Well worth it. Y'all, Nick, can you hear us? You good? Do you have an earpiece? This looks very official right now. He's tapping it. I don't think he can hear us, Danny. Is he muted?
Yeah, he's not able to hear. Doesn't look like it's anything on our end, but we'll figure it out.
Okay. You look beautiful, Nick. Are Nick's eyes blue? I guess I've never really considered this before. Nick, so you can't hear anything I'm saying?
No.
Do we want to call Nick on the phone?
That might be the best course of action.
Mario's so happy right now. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, for
no
some
video
reason, I
calls.
don't know exactly what it is, but Mario and Danny, for some reason, like, whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, so we will talk to Nick in a second here. Todd Hoover in the chat says, agree or disagree, Tuesdays are one of the best days of the week. Taco Tuesday in Phoenix, awesomeness. Okay, Todd. Hell yeah,
tacos,
them tacos
last night, a day early, but you know.
Oh wow, weird.
Yeah, weird to have tacos on a Monday.
Do I like Tuesdays? Not really, actually, if I'm being completely honest, Todd. I love getting to talk to Coach Mulkey. I love getting to talk to Nick. But Tuesdays, to me, are almost in a lot of ways even worse than Wednesdays.
Wednesday's the devil with my schedule.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, look, that is actually my busiest day as well. But, you know, I at least I know when Wednesday is done that I basically made it. Friday feels pretty far away on Tuesday, unfortunately. All right, boys, I'm giving you 10 more seconds, and let's just call him. Okay, you call him right now? All right, cool, perfect. Let's see. We had an early Ask the Bench a little bit ago. Maybe I can find it here to fill a minute. Let's see. Nope, never mind. Champ just has everyone arguing about Kim Mulkey because y'all are all playing into his troll hands. All right, we got Nick. Yo, Nick, what up, dude? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Doing well. Okay, hey, Nick, let's start here. By the way, some absolute bangers up on New Orleans Football right now. The trip sit down with Jameis is rare, right? To get a player that open on how he is currently feeling, and it's a very honest interview, and it's a bit of a it's interesting in that he is clearly saying that, you know, personally he wants to play, but he understands that the team's needs come first, but personally that he also feels like he is the best option for the team going forward. Do you agree? Should Jameis Winston start next week?
Well, I mean, if the idea was that they were going to run with Andy Dalton until the offense didn't look good or the offense wasn't working, I mean, the offense isn't working and it doesn't look good. And, you know, you really go back through the last several games, there's not a lot to really kind of hang your hat on a little bit. Like, he was doing a good job of getting the ball to Alvin, and when things were perfect, you know, they were good for him. But, you know, the Cincinnati game, they get in the 4-minute situation, he becomes inaccurate and can't connect on passes to open receivers. 2 weeks ago, they're in the red zone, and you know, he's overthrowing Marquez Callaway and Chris Olave. Last week, I didn't think was great. Now, granted, he's playing behind a JV offensive line, but you know, it's just kind of that's the reality of the situation right now. And I don't think he did, you know, a great job operating. So, look, I mean, even beyond just this season, I think that there's just kind of a situation where they got to figure out what he can do. And, you know, I think the idea of it's going to be something magical or something like that, I think that's probably out the window. I mean, our offseason hype on a lot of stuff with this team is kind of, wilted throughout the fall. But I think they do have to look at that and kind of see what they can do there and what the offense can look like. I mean, they are committed to him $14 million per year, and they don't have another quarterback, under contract for next year. So they got to see how desperate they are to move on or if they can try to piece something together. But, I mean, I think it's just kind of time to try to do something different because this isn't working.
Well, and then the other elephant in the room, Nick, has to do with Dennis Allen. And I'll ask you a question because you mentioned a JV offensive line. When you look at this team, it has been beset with an overwhelming amount of injuries. There is no doubt about that. And it's hard to coach a team like that. That said, within that context, is Dennis Allen doing a good job?
So there's a couple things here. Let's just go right at it and not beat around the bush. Everybody on social media, everywhere, any store you go into, any person you talk to, they're talking about firing him.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, and this isn't a defense of Dennis Allen at all. I just think the reality of the situation is if you were to fire him today, you're never hiring anybody good because you're now the team that just fired your head coach 10 games into a season after 11 or 12 major starters were down in a game, and you don't have a first-round pick, and your cap situation isn't great. So if that's your advertising spiel to hey, come work for us, you're not hiring anybody that has a second option. You're hiring somebody that has no options, and they're going to be horrible too. Your next coach that you hire, you want him to be coveted by other teams because that means he's actually good and he's known to be good. And, there's usually a couple of those guys every year, and then there's everybody else. And when you look back at it, it's almost always, save for a couple surprises, it's almost always the guys that, look like they're probably going to be pretty good and they're more than deserving for a shot. And they've interviewed more than one place. So if for no other reason, you need to let Dennis Allen finish the season so you aren't that team, so you can go out there and get somebody else. I think there's a lot of things with, how this team is playing that could be a lot better. You can't tackle. It's 10 weeks into the season, and they're still talking about, well, we got to drill the fundamentals. Well, I mean, what have you been doing? So, I mean, it's just some of this stuff has to get better at some point, and it isn't. But, I think logically, though, too, the injuries are a factor. They have to be. When Idris Pete and James Hurst and Eric McCoy aren't, playing on your offensive line, it's tough to block. Lewis Kidd goes in there, and it's just, it doesn't look great. And, Calvin Throckmorton's in there, and it doesn't look great. And, you got a center in there. He's not doing a great job either, Andrews. I mean, so it's tough to play like that. You take Marshawn Lattimore and Marcus May out of your secondary and Bradley Roby. I mean, it's tough to play like that. So he's definitely been handcuffed to some degree. And I think if they were healthy, some of the stuff that they weren't doing well would be disguised a little bit because they'd probably have another win or two somewhere along the way. But, still some of those issues are glaring, and to still have the false starts and the missed tackles and all the stuff that was showing up truthfully in the preseason, and then week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I mean, for it still to be here in week 10, I mean, that at some point, that says something about the process isn't working the way it should.
All right, Nick, let me stick on the DA one then, because I guess I hadn't even considered really firing Allen now. To me, the question was always of does fire him at the end of the season change anything about what you just said, though, right? Does that make the Saints attractive if they just let him play out the year? I guess my question is more do you give him a second year? And are you telling me there's just not enough information right now? We have to let this thing play out.
I mean, I know the people listening to this want everyone to say fire him now, burn it down, tear it down, all that stuff. But I think you let him play out the season, you evaluate it, you see how it goes. Maybe you get some guys back healthy and you kind of look at it through that prism and see where you're at with it. The right now thing, I mean, there's petitions and stuff, and I understand why everybody's feeling the way they feel. I mean,
that boy Wolf is popping off. That boy Wolf is popping off right now on Twitter.
No question. It's frustrating to watch, and the same mistakes over and over. But yeah, I think it's going to be decided in how they play out the rest of the season. And if does he lose the locker room? Do they keep playing hard for him? Does is there a downturn? I think all that stuff's going to kind of determine it. But yeah, I just don't think you can fire him 10 games into the season. I think that's just, I understand like the fan aspect of that, but like from a practical standpoint, I mean, that's just not something you can do. And I mean, Mickey Loomis doesn't operate that way, but yeah, I think end of the year, you sit down, you look at it, and you say, okay, we made this attempt to preserve our culture, Sean Payton's culture. We did everything we could to kind of keep the roster together. We kept the coaching staff in place. Did this work? And if the answer is no, then the next question is, can it work? And is it worth finding a way to make it work? And, I think those are the questions they got to figure out at the end of the year. But, I mean, if they fire him end of the year and it's, they're a 3, 4, 5 win team, I don't think that necessarily hurts you with anyone else. But, if you wake up on Monday morning and say, well, Marcus May didn't play, Marshawn Lattimore didn't play, Bradley Roby didn't play, Pete, McCoy, Mike Thomas is injured, Mark Ingram's out, and you go down the list, there's 11 guys, and you fire somebody, the next person that you're offering the job to is going to say, whoa, like, you guys are crazy. There's no way I'm going there. So, I mean, from that aspect, I think it would hurt. But, yeah, end of the season, there's going to be a broad enough picture, and I think it's going to be pretty obvious to anyone looking at it whether it worked or not. And I think whatever direction they take, it'll probably look pretty logical.
When you look at it being that window open for so long, and it looks like it's closing, right? And in the NFL, like it typically is a 3-4 year window. It's been a long time for the Saints. I mean, really since Drew Brees and Sean Payton got to town, Nick, that window was open. And it looks like for the first time that it might be closed. So could you see a scenario where everyone does go, like they completely hit reset? Because it's tough to hit reset when you don't have draft picks, when you don't have valuable pieces really because of contracts and injury history and all that you can trade to get draft picks. So like it feels like that possibly could be a path, but it'd be a difficult path to blow it all up because you don't really have the foundation to build upon.
See, I'm a guy that goes outside and I look up at the sky and I'm like, oh, it's partly sunny, so like it's always tough for me to really see like all that, I look at him. I see a lot of good young players still, and some decent guys that you have that are middle-aged NFL wise, like Marshawn, that are worth keeping around. And it doesn't look that far off. Like you got Pete Werner, McCoy, Olave. I'm gonna throw this guy in there now because he looks good. Cesar Ruiz, Lattimore. You got decent young corners. I think Avante Taylor has some seasoning to do that he needs to do to get a little bit better, but there are some solid building blocks still on this team that I think doesn't put you super far off. And look, they're still in a pretty bad division. And I think a year from now, it's still going to be a pretty bad division. And if somehow they could find a way to get a quarterback and just figure out how to get their talent to play the way it should, because look, I still look at this team and granted a million injuries, so it isn't the same team, but I still look at this team and I see a decent roster. Like, I don't think it's a Jaguars situation. And, my other thing with tearing it down and rebuilding, I think when you stop trying to compete, you get in this spot where you're never competitive again. And there's so many teams that have just been perpetually rebuilding forever. Houston, the Jaguars, the Jets are finally starting to come out of it. You talk to a Jets fan, they're happy that they're just relevant for the first time in 15 years. Go around the league. I mean, there's just so many of them that are just also rans that just never figure it out, never get better. And it's because at some point they made the decision to say, we're not going to be competitive and we're going to tear down to try to step back up. And you never step up. Like, you just get stuck in that spot. Let's say you do that and then you get a good draft pick and you select a quarterback and the quarterback isn't good, which happens all the time early in the draft. Like, now you have nothing and you just end up stuck in place. And I think that's a scary place to be. So, I mean, I think there's a little bit of a, peel off a couple boards, and get some guys that maybe aren't part of your plans in 23, 24, and you make those decisions now and get some assets for them. But I don't think it's a tear down to the stud situation. I still think there's some decent, good young players here. Next year, practically speaking, like, Alvin's probably going to miss some time for the suspension. May's going to miss some time for the suspension. So I think, coming right out of the gates, like, you are losing some games probably, and you might be in a situation. But even with their cap, you start looking at the numbers going down the list. A lot of those guys are kind of locked in for next year, so it kind of feels like more of a hold tight situation, and then you come out the other side of that and kind of see where you're at. But just the complete blow it up, start over thing, like, I don't see that. But yeah, I mean, I could definitely see a little bit, trying to think more forward thinking than in the present, but I don't think you go all the way into that.
Nick, last one here. I know we're keeping you long like we always do, but we love talking Nick Underhill of New Orleans on football, and you can tell from this that he has an excellent grasp of the situation at every single level. And maybe this is a bit of an odd question right after you laid out that, the roster probably isn't as dour as it feels. But in terms of field, continuing to watch CD Deuce perform on primetime, lead the league in picks. He's literally leading the NFL in picks, by the way, Saints fans. If you don't know that, he has 6 picks in the year. Von Bell's like 4th in the league. Marcus Williams got 3 of his own. I guess the point of all this is, there's the old saying about reputation, right? It takes a lifetime to build up. It can be torn down so quickly. All of a sudden, what was once viewed as one of their greatest strengths, a lot of people are really questioning the Saints front office right now. And, I guess I ask you, has this front office ruined their reputation with the moves of this offseason? Are you confident in them going forward if you do have to enter some sort of hybrid rebuild?
I think that has probably been a little bit of a sobering situation for them. Everything they did this offseason, they did with the idea that they were going to be a contender. And, there's a lot of talk about, they got to fight to protect that Philadelphia pick, make it as low as possible. And, I was kind of thinking that way for a while myself, and now you kind of take a step back from it, and it's like, well, wouldn't it be better if they picked 37th instead of 47th? Because they need pieces,
yes.
and now that's a better asset.
Yeah.
The only person that pick matters for the optics of it is Mickey Loomis, and he's the one that ultimately that goes back to as far as where the blame goes for that trade. So for him, I think it matters because that's the way people talk. But all that stuff is kind of temporary. They have a good offseason and they become competitive again. That still hurts. That's still one of the top things on the list of things they did wrong. But I think this whole situation's been a little bit, revealing and sobering for everybody. The value of Sean Payton, I think, was extremely underestimated by everybody. And I actually, I'm in there as well. I thought maybe it would be like a 2-win variance. It turns out it's like a 5-win variance. It's kind of shocking how much, things have kind of fallen a little bit so quickly. And again, there's circumstances within that, but I think it's pretty obvious the value that he had to this team. So, I think they've drafted well. I think they've made a lot of good decisions in free agency. I think they just had, some stuff that really went sideways on them this year. But the jury's out on everybody with Sean out of that building and his voice out of those player acquisition meetings. The value of that might be coming to light too. So it might, it's a lot to prove. It's a lot to figure out. And, I think it's just kind of fair to be in a situation where you're looking at everybody kind of skeptically now, where things used to be a little bit more assumed. So I think what anyone feels about anything right now, I think is extremely fair, because I can't really point at too many things besides Chris Olave that went right this offseason. Their safety strategy, the lead up to this question. You signed 2 free agents. You just named 3 guys they drafted. So, why didn't you draft Brisker or something like that? That's the one thing you probably did better than anybody else in the league is scout, develop, and play safeties. And for some reason, you spend a ton of money on, a guy that's at the end of his career, May, who's, got a, I don't think it's quite been what it was supposed to be in that situation yet either. And meanwhile, your whole crop of guys is just out here killing it, and you have 2 interceptions total. It's a tough look right now. So, I think it's very fair to be skeptical about everything that's going to happen. I do still think Mickey Loomis is a good GM. That might blow up in my face down the road for saying it, but I think that he has made a lot of good decisions. And I think they just got to really kind of recalculate where they're at. And, I think they just really, really, overvalued the system they had in place, and taking Sean out of it, I think has been shocking to everybody.
Sheesh. I did not realize the Saints only had 2 picks in the year. So CD Deuce has tripled you up alone.
Tyrant has both, and there's only 2.
Yeah. Nick Underhill at New Orleans.football is a site. Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Nick, you and Tripp and the boys and the whole crew, keep up the excellent work, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Look, I know LSU Sports Connect says we got multiple injuries in every position group, for real. The injuries are absurd, which is what makes us all a little hard to judge. But I guess you just got to answer whether or not you think that
A lot
you're
of
performing well
that's,
within that context.
I mean, that's the NFL.
That's the NFL. The Chargers have had absurd.
It just is. It just, unfortunately, it's part of the NFL. And that's why you always hear, like, the old savvy vets, like, the team that stays healthy, it's got the best chance of winning it all.
Yeah, straight up.
I mean, it sounds so cliche because it is, but it's true.
It's true. All right. When we get back, let's talk a little Pellies. Big game coming up tonight. A game that star power, John Morant, Zion Williamson in the blender. Pack it out on a Tuesday. You love to see it. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to GEAUXroof.com. GoRoof.com, where you're going to get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. Get it? If you don't, call Go Roof, 978-8300. Hit him with the roof's app, and they can explain the joke to you. But their work is no joke, okay? And they offer that free professional estimate. So you call them up, 978-8300. They come out of your home for free. They let you know exactly where the healthier roof stands, what needs to be done, or importantly, what doesn't need to be done, right? Maybe just get a clean bill of health. Great. Love it. Love to hear it. Maybe something small, maybe something big. The point is, empower yourself with the information for free, then make a fully informed decision about how you want to go about fixing it. Insurance covers it great. If not, and it's a big job, don't worry. They will work with you to find monthly payment options that work for you. Because all they care about is taking care of the community's roofing needs. They're from the community. That's why it's GEAUX. GoRoof.com.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
During the season of Thanksgiving, Corvell Toyota wants to take the time to thank you for your business. We could not be in business for over 50 years without you.
Thank you. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you from Corvell Toyota in Opelousas.
Thank you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana.
Sean Salisbury joins us, and we'll chat with Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Tuesdays, AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Louisiana. Murder on the beat. Something for y'all to cut up to, you know? Yeah. Everybody get your roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Working hard, girl, everything paid for. First, last phone bill, car, no cable. With your phone out, gotta hit them angles. With your phone out, snapping like you Fable. Showing off, but it's alright.
There we go.
Nice catch. High pressure situation right on top of the equipment as I drop it.
Catch, Danny. You like that touch, Mario? See, that's what Jaden Daniels need to do. I could show him. You know what I'm saying, Jake? It's a little touch. Right there. How much you want to bet I could throw a touchdown at an SEC game?
Whatever money you want to put up.
Fair.
I couldn't either.
No, I could not. I can't throw a ball over like 15 yards anymore. My shoulder just falls out of socket.
I mean, what if you have a quad bob and you're out there and you got to play flag football quarterback in a couple of years?
Oh, I ain't worried about that. Dominate.
Well, I mean, if you can't throw it over 15 yards.
Short game. Drew Brees. Air yards are overrated.
All right. I like the spin.
Air yards are overrated.
I like the spin zone.
Also, yeah, like 4-year-olds can't. I mean, you know, like it's a borderline a miracle that didn't Memphis catch a pass that went like 30 yards in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like the entire league celebrated it. Like it,
He called. I mean, his
shot
team
around the world.
His team called multiple past 15
wow.
yards.
Okay, not to brag.
They're 6 though, not 4, so it makes it a little bit better.
Yeah, and not not to brag, but back in the day, you know how like when do you ever go to like an Auburn or an Ole Miss or like any of these football camps when you were growing up? So they used to do Tiger Ball. Or
I know Tiger. I know what Tiger Ball is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Right. Well, actually, we didn't go full Tiger Ball.
Give me the Tiger Ball stats from T-Bob.
Well, I was going to say it was a Tommy Tuberville Auburn camp when I was about 8 or 9 years old, but we didn't
the
play
politician?
Tiger Ball. Yeah, exactly. Senator. Oh, unbelievable. But we played just like flag, I guess, or like two-hand touch or something. But yes, I did quarterback my team to the championship.
I've heard.
Not to brag.
I've heard this story before.
And in the championship game, we were a deep ball team, and we had to make adjustments and started dumping it short. Bam. Got the dub.
I told you
6-0.
the only camp that I went to, because camps were a thing, but they weren't a thing kind of when I was coming out. My sophomore going into my junior year, I went to Nike camp, and it was in College Station. And I didn't really know. I'd never really been to a camp, and so I bring my cleats. And I had old Reebok Classics on there. Like, oh, no, we're going on the turf. I'm like, we're not, like, no grass? Like, no, turf, like old turf. Not rubber, like AstroTurf, like old school. And by the way, it's the hottest I've ever been in my entire life in College Station in the summertime on old AstroTurf.
AstroTurf.
It was
from,
miserable.
Toy Story.
And so I had to run and do every drill in a pair of Reebok Classics.
Oh, nice, dude.
That's all I had.
Now, to be clear, the camps I'm talking about like elementary school, junior high, like little kid camps. Like I too ended up doing like the Nike camps when I got older and everything.
Right, I'm saying, but that was my only experience with a camp.
Yeah. So no, okay, yeah. So you never went to any of the any. I guess I don't even know how much they did them back in the day. Quad Bob, a lot of Quad Bob talk.
Love
we'll
Quad
see.
Bob.
We'll see.
Quad Bob.
We will see. I'm getting a very girl feel. I don't know though. We'll see.
I'm getting a Quad
I mean,
Bob.
the math is on the side for a girl, so we'll see. No, we do not know the sex.
Can we name a girl Quad Bob? Probably not.
No,
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't. You know what name I actually really like for a girl is Millie Bob, but like I hate that we live at a time when, and just call her Millie or Millie Bob, whatever. I don't know, but I don't like that Millie Bobby Brown exists. So I don't want people to think that I named my kid after an actress from Stranger Things when that's not at all where this would be coming from. It's that I have a vaguely French naming system going on with Alice and Odette. And so I went to like maybe an Amelie or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then I could be like Amelie, you know, do a little little thing. Yeah, we'll see.
I can get behind that.
Dude, Daniel Blunt says, dude, girls with dude names are hot. Relax, Daniel. It's my unborn baby that you're talking about. Too much. Relax. Okay, never mind. Now we're just getting a name talk. Coming up tonight, Pelicans back in action in the Smoothie King Center. Game number 2 of the 6-game homestand, as they will be squaring up with the Memphis Grizzlies. And obviously these matchups are always interesting because this is Zion versus Ja, a conversation that, you know, they came out in the same class. And really, the Grizzlies and Pelicans, very similar situations when the two teams were selecting these players. And the Grizz thrived as the Pelicans flailed for a couple of years now. But the Pels are hot now. But the Grizzlies have continued to thrive, and they've actually climbed to the kind of top of the Western Conference discussion over the last couple of years, whereas the Pels have kind of entered the, okay, can we be a consistent playoff team discussion. We were talking to the break, Mario. Mario hosts the Flock Up podcast, comes out Tuesday and Thursdays. Check it out. But we were talking during the break, and Zion is questionable tonight. It looks like the Grizz should probably be at full strength, and yet the Pelicans are favored by 3.5. Can you make sense of why the Pelicans would be favored in this game with a 9-5 Memphis team going against a 7-6 New Orleans team?
Well, you still have Brandon Ingram healthy, who's 6-1 as a member of the Pelicans against the Grizzlies. They've done really good in this series for some reason the last couple of years, regardless of who's playing. But remember last time Pelicans were shorthanded, no Zion, no BI, no Herb, and they still beat the Mavericks. So a lot of guys are going to get some opportunity for some minutes here. Hopefully they can take advantage of it. And for what it's worth, it looks like the Grizzlies will get Jaren Jackson Jr. back. He has not been playing. He's been dealing with a toe injury, but he's likely to make his season debut tonight.
Valanciunas revenge game? Isn't that where he came from?
And Adams. Adams versus Valanciunas going against their old teams.
Oh, that's right. Man, Steven Adams. Still love him. I still love him. Just didn't end up working here. So I'm excited to check that out. We will see what happens. You got any predictions?
It's going to be a close game, but I think the Pelicans pull it out, man.
You think Zion plays?
I don't think he plays. They have another game tomorrow against the Bulls. If I had to guess, I would think they're going to hold him out until then. But the Pelicans have not been playing super great recently, but some guys are getting more comfortable in the system. I could see him pull out a win at home.
Champ of the chat says, hottest girl in my school is named Randy. The argument holds water. Huh. Okay. What? Was there a hot girl in your school with a male name?
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to rack my brain as well. I don't believe anybody's coming off the top of my head. What about you? Oh, wait. Did you guys go to school with girls?
There was a girl in Mount Carmel named.
Martin's all boys?
There was a girl in Mount Carmel named Georgina, which I thought was kind of a strange name, but
yeah, but that's not
not what we're talking about at all.
But
George,
no, yeah, kind of a little bit. I'll give
Georgina
Mario,
though is a girl's name.
But I'll give Mario a little bit here with the George. Yeah. It's kind of a play on a masculine name.
Up until I heard that name, I had heard of Regina. I had never heard of Georgina, but apparently it's a somewhat common name.
Maybe go Bob Gina? Bob Gina?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work, actually, now that we're just
dang it, Bobby.
I mean, you have a sister who has a boy name, Ryan.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure. She's good looking. I'm not going to name a kid Riley Reed. Sorry, Bill. That's not going to happen. We'll see.
Shout out to the Commanders. There's a Riley Reed meme.
Really?
About them, yeah.
Oh, you're going to make me a commander?
Yep. And they did last night. Hell yeah.
Left hand up. It's the Commanders. That song is really good. All right, when we get back, I kind of think I want to play the new SEC shorts. It's really funny and really good. I think LSU fans get a kick out of it. Ooh, I don't hate Ripley. I don't think my wife would be down for it, but, you know, Ripley is
would
kind
she
of
believe
his
it?
name. What?
Or not?
God. Oh, my God. Yes, I'm proud of you. That was excellent. That was really good. It took me far too long to get there. And I used to, Ripley's, believe it or not, underrated TV show hosted by Dean Cain.
Oh,
Remember
yeah, it
back in the
was.
day?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah to Dean Cain as well.
They used to have the museum in downtown New Orleans. It was really cool.
Yeah. They still have those, like, in all the most touristy spots in the big cities like L.A. and Hollywood. It's got one like right there.
I've never been to one. I'm sure they're like very fun to go to. I would love to check.
Yeah, you would like it.
I want to go to a wax museum.
That's
really
what it
badly.
is. I mean, Ripley's is a wax museum.
Well, I think that's why I thought of it. But
Yeah.
then also it's got like, it doesn't have like, hey, here's the, the face of a boy dog or something.
Yeah.
Like here's an alien's phallus. Oh, wow.
Yep.
All right.
People with a lot of piercings.
Yeah, fair. Man, God, pre-internet, was there anything better than getting a fresh Guinness Book of World Records at the book fair? One of the all-time great feelings. All right, when we get back, more OTB. But first, remember, I want to remind you, go to AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com for all your AC, heating, and electrical needs. You want to go to AccuTemp, get that service to the highest degree. We're always telling you about it. Jake's a member of the Star Club. He has a Star Club membership, which is really great. You pay a flat fee, and they basically check up on you every couple months, make sure your system's good to go. You don't pay anything out of pocket. And it helps you avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. Keep it locked, and I'll see you on the other side of the break.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
As a community bank, B1 Bank invests in relationships with the people and businesses we proudly represent. Our B1 bankers are here to help simplify the complicated, understand your needs, and make managing your finances easier. At B1 Bank, we offer an array of solutions to help simplify your transaction needs. B1 Bank, one highly personal banking experience. Visit us online at b1bank.com for more information.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys. Join me, Jimmy Out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Congratulations to William Hutchinson of Baton Rouge. William is our Week 11 winner in the 2022 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em Contest, and he wins a $50 Twin Peaks gift card. Don't forget to make your picks for Week 12 about 5 p.m. on Thursday. Play the 2022 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em today at 1045ESPN.com.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB.
I was expecting a drop as well.
I thought I was just like,
boom. Didn't get it. We didn't get it.
God. My daughter punched me in the face yesterday, and it legitimately hurts. I hate it.
Odie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's crazy, man. All right. Welcome back to OTB. Hope you're having a wonderful day. It's kind of a lazy, nice morning, and there's a very funny video that we're going to play for y'all. This is the latest. So I love SEC shorts. I always had. We've had, what's his name? Josh Snead, the kind of main guy behind it all, a couple of years ago. I'd love to have him back on again. But they do great skits every week breaking down the SEC. Are you going to go, boys? Here is the most recent episode.
I really don't see what's so hard about it. Go on the road, start your backup quarterback, and convert a 4th and 11 and win. Easy peasy.
Hey, Texas A&M, you want some cake?
Does it have cyanide in it?
I don't think so.
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, teams, gather around. It's time to select this season's SEC division winners. This year, we're going to try something a little bit different. Whichever team be worthy will pull the sword from the turf and be crowned division winner.
So we just gotta pull that out of the thing.
That's it. But be wary. It could be harder than...
I'll make this quick. I know we all have things to do. Okay. So the trick is you want to lift with your legs and not your back. All right? Here we go. Any second now.
I don't think it's moving.
I felt it budge!
It didn't budge.
Preseason unanimous division champs! This thing is coming out!
Why don't we let another team try?
Oh, the second I stop pulling, the sooner I have to realize the cold, dark reality that the Saban dynasty is in its fading twilight years!
Okay, who's next? Kentucky, preseason top 10?
Oh, yes! Let him go! The only thing my man's pulling out of that is defeat out of certain victory. Pass. Spencer Rattler was supposed to be a good quarterback. He was on Netflix.
Missouri?
Underhill was a cage. For many moments we have been down, forgotten, dismissed. So I shall wield this sword with great power and might.
Okay, we have our East Division winners. Now let's see if we can find that West Division winner, okay?
We're gonna do this again for the playoff top 4 again, right? Because we all saw the Pac-12 implode tonight, right? Because we're definitely in.
If only we'd been rolling with Coach Caddy from week 1. I feel like it's moving.
It's not moving. Oh, just once in my life, let me go to Atlanta. I never asked for anything.
Yeah, we're still a quarterback away from trying that.
Okay, well, I guess that's everyone.
No. I'll try. LSU? Missing the extra points lately?
Yeah, we almost beat these losers with Harsin!
Hey, what accent has Brian Kelly adopted this week? Yeah, SEC Shorts called that guy out for being a clown in week 1, and their commentary this season has been spot on.
Maybe you should wait until year 2 of the rebuild.
Update our playoff resume now. Blew out SEC West Division winner on the road.
Alexa, play neck.
This episode was brought to you by Renaissance Bank.
Hey,
Understanding
they
you.
did a pretty good job with that.
Play next.
Close out the show, a little Ask the Bench next.
OTB, OT.
Well, due to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. Get that career, get that better life by investing in yourself with ITI Technical College. Remember, a local family-owned trade school campus right here in Baton Rouge, a beautiful campus that features, scale models, 3D models, the exact equipment that you will be working on in your career, right? So get that AOS degree in just 2 years with ITI, and then they can actually not just get you ready for Louisiana relevant jobs, but help assist you in getting said jobs. Please go get up your butt and sign up today. Make your life better. ITI Technical College.
Yeah, even if you have something going on, we tell you every single day they're going to work with you. Call admissions today. That number 877-591-1070. Because you can have something going on full-time right now, but remember, day and night classes, it's going to take the same time period to get that degree. Also, Friday's completely off, so they can work with you. They'll find a schedule that works for you. iticollege.edu.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.
I am Juliet, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women. Women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis. But I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother, and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
We get it done with passion for our fans
and love for our community. We are
the Tigers.
Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com. That's GEAUX catch.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and pick out your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance. This summer, visit your local Acura dealer.
Round 2 of the Prep Football Playoffs, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview, presented by the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Catholic High and Archbishop Rummel kick off at 7, immediately followed by the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, Your View, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Ask the bench. Greg wants to know my voice is going to heal before the season ends. Probably not. Too many cigars, not enough sleep, newborn on the way is only going to exacerbate one of those problems. I feel like the weather and some, like the dry weather or something too.
Oh, as soon as I go to talk, yeah, it's all right. I'll take the cold weather if it means my voice being a little iffy for a week.
Yeah, it only really gets annoying when it's like I'm doing my snaps after dark Saturday night and it's like when my voice is just at its lowest point. It's just a piece of meat that's been beaten all week long and it's just a flat, useless flab. So besides that though, no, it's not going to.
Other than that.
Yeah, other than that, Miss Lincoln, how's the play?
Yeah.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. What do y'all want to see from JD5 this weekend in prep for the A&M game? I want to see the offense just roll. Just get back the confidence you had, the dominance you had before.
That's the key word. T. as Will said, confidence. That's all I want to see. Confidence. If it's open, throw it. If it's not, protect the ball.
Bilbo said, my left nostril hurts only in the cold weather. Well, why only your left nostril? What's going on?
My right knee always hurts in the cold weather.
I guess I said a month away. I'm actually 2 weeks away.
From what?
A baby.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
It's here, Bo.
I know, bro. Intense.
I'm gonna be in Atlanta.
Intense.
Han Solo.
The countdown has started.
No T-Bob with me.
Nope.
I gotta try to find a co-host.
Do we have any more Ask the Bench questions? I'm not seeing. Oh, Ask the Bench. What do you? Oh, no, I already asked that one. You go to Page Plus Urgent Care, PagePlusUC.com. All of your occupational medicine needs. You want to go to Page Plus Urgent Care. Their Mid-City location is fantastic for that. But look, really just anything. Change the weather's got you feeling sick. Somebody got sniffles, cold, cough, whatever. Page Plus is going to get you in, out, get better. Digital profile is incredible. Make it so quick. A database mine. Ask the Bench, if the chat raised enough money to pay you, can we name your next child?
Yes.
We've been having an off-air discussion all morning long about the things you would do for $100 million. I would definitely let you name my child. But
for $100 million, you can do whatever name you want.
No, unfortunately, I'm not going to let you name my child. Ask the Bench, if the Saints can win 3 games in a row and take first place, will all the doom and gloom be buried? Yes, you shake your head, Mario, but no, yes, it would be, but they're not going to because they're bad. But the point is, that's what I love about football. Yes, if you win the games in sports, people will be happy. It's one of the few things in life that is actually a meritocracy where how you do directly affects how you are viewed and how much you get paid. Even in college sports now, Jake, you ball out, you'll get a new NIL deal, right? So yes, if you win 3 games, the doom and gloom would rightfully be gone because it should be. But you got to go win 3 games in a row.
Which this team has not shown that they can.
Yeah, Ask the Bench, how long will you be out for the birth of your child? I'm guessing 3 days or something, I think is generally what I've done. Ask the Bench, how cool is Coach Mulkey? She's the best. Ask the Bench, will you learn how to pull out? I used to think I was the best ever, but check it out, guys. Confidence comes before the fall, as Dooku said, twice the pride. Or double the pride, double the fall. The point is, I, too, used to clown everybody, because I had a perfect record. But all it takes is one time, 1 second too long, one pump, and that's all it takes. So I learned my lesson. As the Bentry, I'll be at Don Juan
beautiful
Saturday.
child because of it.
I'm coming in town from Corpus Christi. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'll be at Don Juan, Scott. You should come on by. I'll be watching the game there. Now, it's such a late game that, they may have to actually close like in the middle of us doing the show, but we'll be hanging out watching the game.
Oh, that's what they do. They kick everybody out. It's just you and Matt.
That's happened like once in the past, and I think it was like an 8 o'clock kickoff. I'm not entirely sure. I think they have to close by midnight. Yeah, one got past the goalie, exactly. Y'all have a great day. See you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
3 people walk into a bar. The first 2 order the same old marks. The third, Nuevo Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer, crafted with real lime juice and a crisp tequila flavor. Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.